On it, boss.
We're on.
Thank you.
Well, now I totally messed it all up. Okay, is everything on? Yep. Okay, Planning and Zoning Commission meeting of July 23rd, called to order at 7:02 PM. I shall establish roll call. Sue Colbass,
Present and happy.
Dan Scow,
Present.
Melissa Wilson.
Here.
Okay, a quorum has been established. We are ready to go.
Okay, we'll continue on. We're gonna go with our appointment, or our, new business, Mr. Nicholas Scheidner, okay. For the Lot 23 Palace Park subdivision, West Mill Circle. Miss Christine, you said you saw the radon in there somewhere?
So if you go to page
Maybe.
2, this is the second page. It's called out over by kind of the bathroom, I guess.
B2, B2.
Bath. It's got like a 2x6 wall called out.
This is what happens when we just get a raw set of plans.
We just didn't see any
I don't see it.
radon or vapor barrier or anything in
You
there.
see it on that backside? Is that what you're showing?
Oh, I guess I was just looking at, I
Oh,
was under
we're-
the assumption that it's called out right there.
Oh, geez.
Oh, here in this section.
Right there in that
There
wall.
it is. That's all it needs.
Okay.
And in the crawl space, it doesn't have a list for vapor barrier.
Yeah, we didn't see one in there.
And this, I said studs, crawl space access, but there is no detail here where there's a vapor barrier.
There was one somewhere here.
And that would be on sheet PFP .1P .1C.
PFP what?
It is
What?
PFP.1P.1C.
And that's the vapor barrier.
Yeah, they're all,
That's-
yeah, I don't see any vapor barrier.
We saw the
No.
vent, but not the.
I'm sorry, there it is.
Oh,
6
it is.
metal polyethylene vapor barrier with all joints lapped.
it's on the
6
next page.
It's on the next page.
Do you need to note that page or anything, Miss Christine, or are you good?
Well, is that-
SP
Oh,
1P.
1P.1C.
Okay.
SP, not,
Sam
SP,
Paul.
Sam
SP.
Paul.
okay, got it. He's got two.
Can't believe they can't hear me.
I know what you're thinking.
Yeah, and I do know that the contractor that I've scheduled to come in and do the work, he's laying in, some gravel or something like that. And he's putting barrier over that.
Yep.
And then the radon pipe goes
Yep,
down.
that makes sense.
So he's got a whole system that he's
Yep.
doing.
Okay,
Looks good.
I don't find anything else.
Yeah, you've got the list that, besides the rocks, we just barely got those tonight.
I'll give it the cursory look.
Oh, there you go.
Thank you.
So a little history on that. Dan did review those. He found a few issues with them.
Is that what you've got right there, Miss Christine? For the garage?
Oh,
Foundation plans need
No,
to
I
be.
didn't want.
this was verbally that
Yeah.
Dan talked to me, specifically stating the 2021 code.
2021 IRC code.
Yeah. So we went back to engineering. They updated sheets to reflect the 2021.
Okay.
I think there was look and see what else the other issue was that he had that was minor in
See,
nature.
it wasn't attached.
And they're stamped.
Okay. And they're not.
Oh, he had a ground, they originally had a ground load of 120 PSF, and they redid things for the 147 that's required,
Yeah.
Okay.
for what that's worth.
It's got power.
Correct.
Is there a location for your disconnect garage? I guess that's. I'm just looking for, I don't see where they put your disconnect anywhere. There has to be a disconnect on that exterior of that property to turn the power off.
So labeled on the plan sheets.
It's upside down, so.
It's a,
Oh.
I can read upside down. So we got shear. I mean, they gave you some really nice drawings on the front, so I didn't see where, power's going in.
Okay.
So that should be notified on these.
On the first page?
Yep.
Okay.
On your site plan, which is
Yeah. Power,
right here,
power, water.
there's nothing to show us where power is coming
Oh.
from the house
Okay.
to that, and there's a disconnect that has to be on the outside of the garage.
Yep.
Okay, so it comes out of, so this is the plan right here, that needs to be redone,
Okay.
okay? I mean, I see where your power is coming in, power box, and it's coming to the side of the house, but there needs to be a line and then showing where the disconnect is to the garage.
On the site plan as well? Or just on
Yeah,
the,
on this one, and it should show it,
on there?
it should show it on the pretty pictures
This one right
on
here.
this one.
Okay.
Have you ordered it?
I have.
When's it due?
I'm being told mid-September.
Okay, so he's got time to create all of these changes and additions to the plans, and we can bring them back to the next, in 2 weeks? Okay.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan. But we can continue on with the house, because the plans are good with that, or we're good with that, as far as I can understand.
Well, yeah.
It's just, we need a little bit more
We
information on
need
it.
more information on the garage,
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
and it's minor,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
but we have to follow it along. And like I'm saying, if his if the house doesn't show up until mid-September, he can meet the next meeting. And
Yeah,
he's still,
he should
and
be
he's still
fine.
good.
Yeah, I mean, we have one more meeting in August too, before your stuff comes in September, so you got time.
Yeah, well, I guess I'm more concerned about scheduling with the excavator and the concrete.
Yeah,
It's like, it's further and further along.
Well, you already, is this foundation in the ground already?
No. I
nothing
was
is-
told I can't do anything until,
Correct. Okay. Well, Ms. Christine,
sorry. Oops.
Yes, sir.
there are two pieces, or just basically one piece, power coming out of the house and where it's mounting to the garage.
To the garage. Yeah. And upon Dan reviewing the, make sure, I know you guys spoke as well, Nick, before, but as long as we have Dan, all of Dan's notes for the garage and it's all, and he's good with that.
Yeah. Again, we've had this problem where we promise people and people promise us and
Yeah.
away they go.
Yeah.
So,
We'll approve, I'll entertain a motion to approve the house, and then we will not approve the garage until we get all the pertinent information on the power shut off and if there's any information from our plan reviewer. Does everything seem cohesive with that? Mr. Scow? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm
That way you can at least continue on with this.
Dan did the plan review on these garages?
Oh, we
So-
did for sure?
and
I thought
so
this was the
he
first time we
didn't pick this up.
Oh, no, that's why I
He didn't pick
did a
this
revision.
garage, the power to the garage?
No.
So
I'm
let's.
I'm not, to his defense, I'm not sure that this was made available to him.
Okay. So we'll just make sure Dan reviews the plans on this and just make sure everything's to the book, because
I
we'll
will-
have another meeting
Actually,
next month.
what I'll do is I'll ask him to fill out a green sheet specific to the garage.
Perfect,
Okay.
yeah.
How's that?
We don't
So
see
that
any
way we
problems.
have, just
Okay.
in case
Just to cover, see what.
this is covered for the house, we'll have a new green sheet
Correct.
for specific for the garage.
I dig it. I would like that. So how does that? I will
And if
entertain.
you choose not to put power in it,
Yeah.
Oh, no, I need power, because I need lights and a garage door. There's gonna be power. It'll be all done to code, because the
There
electrician's
you go.
gonna know how to do it, so.
then this is what we're gonna need to do for the,
So
Yeah,
I,
not a problem.
so I make a motion that we accept that, hold on.
Oops, sorry.
This would be, the house of lot 23, is that Palace Park subdivision? And that is, R1-09-R4, for approval.
okay. I've got a motion on the table. Do I have a second?
I will second that.
Okay, any further discussion? Okay, so we'll just table the garage for now
We're tabling
until
the
we
garage.
see you in August to get all the rest of the information that we need for the garage. And pending our plan reviewers look over Dan's to look over the garage, we should be good to go from there with your garage, as long as he approves
So the
everything.
meeting in August is on the 13th. So it'll be at 7 o'clock and I'll be right back here.
Right, Becky.
13th, okay.
Okay.
So what we'll do is we'll initiate all of the appropriate paperwork specific to the house,
Good.
okay?
Okay,
So,
You can start.
correct me,
Yeah.
you can start excavating and planning for your
House.
your footings and your foundation for the house.
okay, but I still gotta get the engineered,
Yes,
stamped
All of-
foundation.
all of the lists
Yeah.
that you received is
Oh, you're just saying, once I get that, I can give that to you and I can kinda start
on the
the
garage.
process.
Yes, yes.
The house or garage?
The house.
House.
Oh,
House,
sorry,
okay.
my mistake.
No, no,
I thought we were talking
garage-
about
making
your
sure I'm-
The
things.
garage, you're gonna have to update the drawing.
yep,
Okay,
okay,
This site plan
yep,
and the elevations where that disconnect is gonna be,
yeah, okay,
okay?
gotcha.
And this map is just, power is probably gonna come out of the disconnect that's back right there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's gonna come over to
Wherever that,
somewhere there,
where the disconnect's on there, yeah,
okay? We just need to know that,
okay.
all right?
okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so we have a motion on the table. We have a second. Any further discussion? Okay,
So I want to clarify, by the way. he
Yeah,
can
absolutely.
Move forward with the house.
with the house only.
Because I can see some confusion.
Yes.
No, I was just trying to make sure I understand all this. So, okay, there's a lot going on here.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay,
Are-
Well, I know you're looking at the window of time available to get all this going
Yeah.
in terms of weather and whatnot. I can see
yeah,
that.
and
Oh,
just
should be until
availability of,
September,
I
yeah.
don't know how these contractors.
Yeah.
work.
Oh,
About- Yeah.
In my line of work, we just have a contractor and they
Mm-hmm.
start and they finish, so.
Yeah. And everything else on the list as well, so.
Yeah.
We have a-
R38 and the crawl space.
The foundation plan
System,
stamp.
so.
But we don't need to worry about the foundation stamp because we found that, correct?
Yeah, I mean,
we found that, so
don't
we're good.
understand, Dan
Dan's
noting that, but
Yeah, we saw the
I
stamp.
see the stamp, so
I think we're
don't-
good with that. We'll just have Dan check that, make sure he's good with that. Okay?
Christine?
Okay, so
Yeah, go.
is
That's
this
the
the
new
one,
ones.
this is
That's
the new one?
ones.
Okay. Just gotta make sure I write this down.
We'll hold please for Miss Christine to get caught up with us.
Because then I'll date stamp that today.
Double check here, just so we all are not making any mistakes.
Oh, we're gonna make mistakes, we're all human.
I wonder if Mr. Dan was looking at,
Oh, the plumbing?
no, this, please excuse the rattle. That as
Oh,
the foundation plan.
oh, gotcha, yeah, that would make sense,
I think
That's
that's
easily
what he's
overlooked.
looking
Yeah.
for.
Okay.
yeah.
So,
Wants that stamped? Is that what you're asking?
yep,
Okay, that's the one he wants stamped.
okay.
Nick,
Hey.
what page is
Nick?
it?
So that's
Refer to whatever
page-
page.
PFP .1P.1C.
That one right there that you're on.
That's
right?
what we're missing. That's
Yeah.
the stamp Dan's referring to.
That's
Yeah.
the stamp.
Got it.
We need this stamp by your structural guy.
Okay.
Yep, that's one you're at.
Because it has all the loading, it has all the sizing of your footers, it has everything that you need. That should be a structural page.
Do you want me to highlight
Okay.
that, Christine, or you good?
Yes, highlight that, thank you. No, the page number,
Oh, yes, ma'am.
1C. Usually they have an A, 1O.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have a motion, we have seconded, we've had discussion. Mr. Nick, are you clear? Are you all good, boss?
Yes, I
Okay,
understand.
okay, or I
So,
do,
Nick, this is the most important piece,
yes.
Right.
the stamp set on your foundation plan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? How fast can you get that?
I'm hoping quickly, but
That's number one,
nobody's, yeah, that's my priority right now.
okay? Because no contractor is gonna run with that without the stamp.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna retract my motion,
Contingent on getting that stamped?
getting that stamp on the house.
Yep. Okay, so we have an amendment to said motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Any further discussion?
I think we should just table it until next meeting. House and the garage.
Just because we don't have that stamp on the foundation
Yeah.
plan.
Gotcha.
That's
Okay.
a
Can't
priority.
go forward.
That'll be a
Yeah,
priority.
That's a big deal,
Okay?
unfortunately.
Okay.
Okay. We have a motion, and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Can-
Good job in
Can
going
we-
back and checking that
Can we
down.
have special meetings?
Nick, are you okay with everything?
Yeah, it's the
Okay.
process, right?
Yeah, no, but I still see confusion, so I just.
No, I guess I was just thinking, I didn't know if there was a way to,
Well, how fast can you get
again,
this?
expedite it to the sense of
Well,
approval contingent upon.
so
something.
we used to do that, but we have gotten away from doing that because it's turned around and bit us in the butt more
Yeah.
times than we care to count.
Christine said so.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So I was just checking, you know.
It
I mean, if you
quadruples
can,
everyone's workload.
Well, that's why I'm
3
asking.
weeks,
I get it.
What?
3 weeks
3 weeks, yeah,
from
because
tonight.
we have 5 Tuesdays.
exactly.
So if we called a special meeting,
Yes.
we'd have to post it, we'd have to let it know. It just makes sense for you just to be here in 2 weeks, and,
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
yeah.
That's a lot.
I mean, Dan's right. They weren't stamped. And the foundation plan is in the wrong spot, right? It's
Okay.
not something that the structural engineer drew. He didn't draw a foundation plan.
Oh, gotcha.
So he's gotta review that data to make sure that
Make
it
sure it's
is
still gonna
correct.
handle, okay,
Cause
Yeah,
I'm not
you're-
an engineer,
yeah.
and neither is Dan.
So, did you and I talk about the certificate of placement?
Yes.
Get Carl on board with that? I think we talked about that, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
But that would be kind of once they excavate and place the forms and then get the certificate.
Yeah, I'm just trying to kind of help you navigate the waters
So
to
I'm gonna help you.
facilitate this.
The moment you dig, you call Sherble and you have them put the corners of the walls, okay,
Uh-huh,
in the hole.
okay.
Before you pour concrete, all the wall points are in the hole. Then you know what to measure off of for your footer,
You're saying before or after you dig?
after you dig.
Yep.
So you're gonna
That's- okay,
stake.
I got you.
You get him to stake out where your house goes, that way your excavator knows where to dig.
Yep.
okay? He's gonna dig it all the way down. He's got a floor seal. You get Sherbill to come back and put those points in the hole. 4 points. It's a rectangle. It's pretty easy. Then you got something you can measure off of to set the outside corners of your footers.
Absolutely.
Make sense?
Yep.
Then he comes back and verifies that the point of the wall will sit on that footer. You're good.
Yeah, okay.
Because you probably haven't done this before.
No.
That's why we're here today.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you, Nick.
Forward. Yes,
Thank
thank you,
you.
Nick, appreciate it. And don't hesitate to call with questions.
Okay.
Yeah, talk to
I'm totally
Christine,
signing
because
you.
she's really powerful and strong.
She is.
Yeah, they've been very helpful.
Okay.
Thank you for your time, I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir, appreciate it. Thanks for coming in.
Hey, thanks for making the trip.
Okay, so the next one is gonna be Chris Teed. Are we
Okay,
tabling
and,
that?
he's not going to be making it tonight.
Okay,
And he does have some items that he needs to get addressed.
Okay, so we'll just table it?
On that, so we
Okay,
can just go
we'll
ahead
just
and
table.
table that. His application, timeframe is, moving forward, so I'll remind him that he's got 90 days to get that paperwork in.
okay. Do we need to make a motion to table that, or are we just?
Yes,
tabling it?
ma'am.
I'll entertain a motion to table Mr. Chris Teed till the next meeting.
I'll make a motion to table the R1-08-24 Chris Teed, Lot 227 Lakeview Estates, A, 744 Pine Crest Circle.
Motion, do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. All right.
Terra Power, how did we get into that?
What is this? Yeah.
Oh, that was just those are just correspondence items that have been submitted to the town of Alpine. The town clerk provided that to me and thought maybe you guys might want to read it. So I said, sure, I'll put it in their packet for their nightly reading.
So it's nothing for us to do anything with, it's just
No.
FYI.
It's just a notification of the Kemmer
Oh, this has to do
power
with,
station.
uh,
Yeah, with that.
Are they, they're starting right directly, aren't they?
I
We're going.
know.
Okay?
interesting.
Okay.
Next, Lincoln County Staff Report, Alpine Trail.
On the top of your Lincoln County staff report,
Not the best.
Which has now been,
With the support
okay,
of the
so,
Alpine
there's
administration.
been a request by, Dan, where's your paper? Can I borrow your paper? Oh, here we go. Let me borrow this. So there's a request by Great Lakes Capital, Ryan Rands. As you can tell, last time, we had the information for the public hearing that's gonna be held tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, that is
Tomorrow at 6 p.m.
Yeah, in Apple.
And so Mr. Rands has requested that they remove
Oh,
that from
goodness.
the P and Z agenda, and it's their intent with the decision to allow Mayor Green time to review the town's commitment made to this project by Alpine Town Council. While the project has already obtained the required will serve approval from the town council, we would prefer to move forward with support of the current administration. So that, this is the staff report that came out after our meeting, after we submitted our documents and everything like that. So this is just for you guys to read,
Midnight reading.
midnight reading, more entertainment. And, there you go.
Thank you.
May I ask, has the town attorney found anything out about any of this? We don't know yet.
I don't know. We need more time.
Yeah, I don't. I think that's a town council deal.
Oh, yeah, you're good, I'm just asking.
No, nothing that I
Have an opinion on?
have information on.
Perfect. All right, so next one, LUCD's changes, chapter 152. Oh, boy.
Okay,
Here we
now,
go.
I tried to do my homework. But I probably wasn't as successful as I wanted to be. But I do have chapter 1, and what I wanted to do, oh, and I don't have any red notes on here. Why is there no red notes on here?
Maybe you go back to your computer and print them out.
One. Yeah, I don't have any.
Maybe we didn't have any changes on there.
Yeah, I didn't do section 1, I'm not.
I don't recall there being any changes on section 1.
Okay, well then that's why.
I thought it was,
Let's check my notes.
okay, I
Let's
could
see
be
what-
Yeah,
wrong,
there
but I
is.
thought we were just looking at, hold on, 2, 3, and 6, right?
We were, but, you know, I want to try to get this package done. Mm-hmm. Get it done.
Well, so should we review this right now real quick?
Sure.
Let's see, my notes were-
I don't think there ever was. I never really went through this.
Planning and Zoning Commission shall meet once a month during November through April, and twice a month, May through October. Special meetings may be called at any time by the chair or in his absence, the vice chair. Okay,
Does he do that?
yeah, occasionally, yeah. So we could
Hey, Dan,
ask for a report.
remember what we were talking about earlier about our one-year term? Apparently, that's not the case.
It's not the case. I don't know why.
It referred to section 1-104,
I was-
A2, I'm sorry, A3.
I was led astray.
Appointments shall be for a period of 3 years and shall be staggered. In the
might
first
have.
year, the appointments are made, one commissioner shall be
but-
appointed for 1 year, 2 commissioners for 2, 2 commissioners for 3.
You
After the
got
first year,
the full term.
Yep.
She got the unexpired term.
I did?
That's
How
why
did-
she's a 1 year.
How
You're
did
a
she-
I'm
how
a
did
one.
she get it? What,
just the
because
luck
she's a
of the draw.
girl?
Yeah, that's it.
I don't make
You're on
these-
to her.
I
So
don't
who's
make
one?
these-
I'm
I don't
one.
make these
I'm
decisions.
1, right?
Yeah.
Because you're,
Okay.
And he's 2, and
No,
you're 3?
he's 3.
What am I?
He's
Oh,
He's
3.
three.
What, I'm
He's
just-
3. Everybody's
just
3.
three.
Oh.
This is when.
You're number
Okay,
3.
just so you understand.
Yeah.
This is when you first create the thing and then they stagger the terms. And there used to be 5 people.
There did.
So there used to be a 1, a 2, and a 2.
Got
So we
it.
got
so
rid
much
of 2. So now we have,
Well, but that's not what's written here. We didn't get
But
rid of
that-
it because it's still here.
Well, yeah, because at some point in time, they're probably
That's
gonna
an
want 5 at some
example.
point in time.
I-
Oh. Oh, yeah, it does say example.
example.
Yeah, it's an example.
It's just an example.
It's not the
We're
law.
reading into
It's an
it.
Got
example.
it, got it.
She was
I don't
trying to
really
find that
see-
escape clause.
I really don't see much to do here, except
I don't
for
either.
Yeah, I don't either.
the designation of Alpine zoning administrator. Are you the zoning administrator?
Yes.
Shall report to the chair of the Alpine Planning and Zoning Commission. You do that?
She
Yes.
does that, yep.
I report
Say anything in there about a raise?
Wow, you're gonna really get it.
I think it was chapter 4 that I wanted to make some changes in.
All right.
Elevator report.
Any legal rulings that may be made against or specific provisions within the Alpine Land Use Development Code shall not negate the applicability requirements and enforceability of the ordinance provisions that are not affected by such elements. Yeah, I don't think there's much there.
Okay,
Let's go to,
skipping
Let's go
over
to
to
two.
2.
there's gonna be some stuff there.
There's gonna be something there. And it's in red, so I'm just gonna skip to the red. And I think it's more in the back. I think the procedural stuff as far as the variance, the rezones, of the replats have really already all been streamlined as much as possible.
I'm at the variance.
What page are you on there, Mr. Dan?
Page 18,
Okay, you're on 18?
yeah.
What
I
you
don't
wanna
see
change?
any
Variance
red.
No,
process.
I'm just looking
Oh.
at the variance process, and it says each authorized variance shall apply to a specific use or structure and shall continue in perpetuity regardless of future changes to landowner and land ownership.
Okay,
Apply, I read it first, I read it incorrectly, but it's to a specific use, which could be just land or road or pathway and or structure. So I answered my own question.
okay. Sounds good to me. I am on page 35.
35?
Item
Oh, hey, there's the red.
10. Okay, number 10, so we put in here 3 sets of scaled site/plot plan prepared by a civil engineer that depicts the location of proposed vehicular access, finished grade of the project site, septic system or sewer connection locations, water and sewer connection locations, denoting all above and below ground utilities to be located on the property, vehicular parking setbacks, on-site drainage facilities, snow storage areas. And then we put in the reference to see the checklist for complete details. We're gonna look over that checklist at the next meeting.
Okay.
Submittal of civil engineer site plan is required for all multi-unit residential, R2, mixed residential and commercial, MRC, and commercial, C, light industrial, L1, public and community facilities, PFC, and recreational and conservation, RC, permit applications.
So that's saying
So,
civil engineering is required
Civil
for everything
engineering
but
site
R1.
plan is required for
Correct.
everything except
R1,
for R1,
got it.
And that's for new construction?
is what we wanted.
Yeah. And or remodel.
Does that need to be denoted in there? I mean,
Look, what
It's-
about the remodel? I
it's
mean,
assumed.
what happens if somebody just wants to remove the island in their kitchen?
This
Is that
is,
a
we're
remodel?
not talking about that.
Okay, well, you just said remodel, I'm just asking for
That's an
clarification.
R1.
Right,
But maybe,
there's-
maybe it's a multi-unit
It's a
Yeah.
kitchen.
multi-unit
Yeah,
remodel.
like a townhome and like, oh, I don't like this island here anymore, I'm gonna get rid of it.
Well, it's
Is
not, yeah, that
How
would
does
be
it constitute as a
individual
remodel?
pieces, but if you're, let's say the apartment building that they're, yeah, right over, no,
Just
over
pick,
there.
just pick an
Just the apartment building that they're tearing the roof off
Okay, oh, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah,
of, okay? That is a remodel.
that's a remodel, okay, I can see that.
Okay.
But like, yeah, just retiling your bathroom or retiling your
no,
kitchen,
we're
that's
not doing
not, that's
that,
not
but that's-
constituted
but
as
that's
a
R1.
remodel. Well, but if you have a townhome,
But with that said, when that project got underway, that original structure was
Yeah.
built in the 70s.
yeah, years, yeah,
And so we asked, or I asked them to identify their parking and their snow storage. That way we'd have a clear idea, because they do have so much property
Yeah, they do.
there. What do you plan on doing? Because I know that there's gonna be future development, so they went ahead and they fulfilled that application.
Yeah.
I would put remodel in
Where do you want me to put it?
there. I would put it,
So do you want 4 remodeling projects?
I would say, in the,
Do we have a definition?
And it would be specific to multifamily,
correct,
any remodeling project that falls within these guidelines. Not if you wanna take your kitchen
Right.
island out of your single-family dwelling home.
Right, but what if you have a townhome and you wanna take that out or something? Cause that's gonna be, technically, that's gonna
So,
be like a
where it says-
R2.
permit applications,
Yeah?
I would say permitted construction projects and permitted remodels.
Do we have a definition of what a remodel would be? That might help out, break that down a little bit, do you think?
There we go, back to
What do you think?
our glossary.
Hold on just a sec.
Yeah.
Okay,
I think it's a great idea.
permitted,
Well, I don't know, I'm
did you say permitted construction projects? You said
Yeah,
something else.
permitted construction projects and remodels.
And remodels.
Where is it?
Cause how would you define a remodel? Depending on who's sitting here, like, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, if, let's say if
Like,
you
taking the
are,
roof off, of course, is,
well,
and taking away
let's
structural
say you're
integrity.
redoing the stairs, or and remodel is a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I don't think that we have a remodel in the definitions, do we, Sue?
We do not have one.
No, we would have to come up with one. That's a great idea. I mean, it's an important piece to be put in there.
It's only because, yeah. Just depends on what we determine as a remodel. It just, if somebody wants, yeah. That way the people aren't thinking that, oh, if you
Maybe it
repaint
should
the
say
walls.
additions and remodels. Construction projects, additions and remodels.
So,
Okay.
Let's just check Googler. Let's see what Googler identifies as a
Go
remodel.
get them. And then on 12, a digital copy of
Oh.
this for lateral.
Okay, so that's something that is gonna be discussed a little bit further down, however, I'm trying to be proactive. So while you're Googling the Google Master for a definition of remodel, I have section 6 over here, ready to go for your definition. One digital copy will be submitted of the complete plan set, site plan, along with all the associated construction documents shall be filed at the time of the application submittal. This, is, under your discretion. This digital copy will be kept in-house for internal use only and will not be provided to any third-party individuals as per copyright regulations / guidelines.
Kinda like what that says for remodel.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
To undergo structural reorganization.
We're just reading.
wait a minute,
We're just
we're
reading.
on
it.
number
It's a-
12.
No, we're bouncing.
Yeah, I was
Clearly.
just showing Dan the
Clearly.
definition of remodel. I apologize. I kinda liked what that said.
Oh, I like it.
I agree with,
Yeah.
well, never mind.
No, I'm
Let's-
with you on number 12, yeah.
How long is that definition?
At least very little. It's on the very bottom.
To alter the structure?
Yeah.
That's it?
The structure and
To
integrity.
cause, to undergo structural reorganization, alteration, or renewal.
Yeah,
Oh, well, I didn't see that.
I like that.
I do too.
Can you screenshot that?
Sure.
Can you send it to me?
Yes, ma'am.
Fabulous.
I'm on it, boss.
Okay.
In-house will not be provided to any third party as per copyright regulations and I think that addition on number 12 is tight. but not controversial.
No,
That's why I like
I
it,
would agree.
yeah,
Okay, so.
I like it.
So are we good on that so far?
Yeah,
I think so, yes, ma'am.
yeah.
Okay,
I like the digital copy piece. I think that's important.
Yeah.
Well, and,
Yeah.
In-house.
Especially
Tr-
now.
okay, truth be told, it's been in there, but,
Yeah.
you know, I
We
know
haven't pushed
it
it.
needs to be enforced. Okay, let me see, what else do I got
What else?
in this section? Oh, okey dokey.
42?
42. I decided, after some thought, that we need to maybe identify construction activities and establish timelines. So, and that doubles back into another subject that we're gonna talk about.
The noise
here
ordinance.
Again.
Yeah,
So, we came up with this: construction activities and all related sounds from construction activities shall have an established time frame of 7 AM to 7 PM on regular, and then we put in parentheses in case you're not sure what regular is, Monday through Friday, weekdays, and 8 AM to 6 PM on weekends, and again, just in case you need clarification, Saturday and Sunday. And legal holidays during the months of April through November, on the months of December through March, the established construction activity timeframe will be 7 AM to 5 PM on regular, again, Monday through Friday, weekdays, and 8 AM to 5 PM on weekends, Saturday and Sunday, and legal holidays. And then if we put that in here, then I just have to change the numbers on issuance of certificate of occupancy and issuance of certificate of completion.
does that make sense to you too?
Does anybody have any?
No.
Because we're cutting back hours of construction noise for a quarter of the year in the darkest of times when people are at home the most.
And I agree with you. I think that in this piece, you need to tell them that a violation of this
Ah, yes,
is the new noise ordinance that
Yes.
everybody wants to vote in. I think
so
you
we,
have to.
should-
say-
we
I
we
think-
need to reference the new ordinance
Yeah, you have
number.
to, you gotta reference the new ordinance here.
Actually, that's a good point.
And however you do that, I can't, I mean,
So what I probably would like to put in here is refer to.
To ordinance
whatever
number.
the name of the ordinance
I have it
is.
here.
The most currently adopted version of whatever the title is of it.
Health, safety, and sanitation, noise control.
Okay, because I don't wanna tie it to one.
sounds like a bill in Congress. You
That's-
got sanitation and
That's
noise
what it's
control.
called. It was just handed to me. I
Okay,
didn't make it up.
okay, so, but if I refer to the most currently adopted, whatever, if they decide to change that, I don't have to
Yeah.
come back and change that.
The ordinance number, so you should just put the ordinance of the, or just write Town of Alpine ordinance
Ordinance
regarding
sections.
health, safety, and
Right.
sanitation, noise control. That's it, no ordinance number.
Right,
Got it. I think that's appropriate,
because that's what we've done in the past.
yeah.
Okay,
you're
did
right.
you wanna put,
Because you guys,
What do-
9
Is-
out of 10
is-
times construction and dogs barking is the primary cause of a violation.
of individuals
Yeah.
So,
having,
okay, I'm gonna play devil's advocate here.
okay,
Here we
that's-
go.
We're hoping.
Sorry, folks.
That's okay.
So all of us work 5 days a week. Well, most of us all work 5 days a week. Some of us don't get home till 6:30 or 7, and we have that short window to try to get crap done. And sometimes some of us only have an hour or two of daylight after 7 to get home and get things done. I have been known to scrape my driveway in the weekend or on summer months between the hours of 7 and 9 and get a roller because that's when I get the equipment.
What do you mean
right?
scrape your driveway?
Smooth out my crush,
Oh.
place some more crush,
Oh,
grade it, roll it. With this ordinance, even though that's the only time I can get the equipment, with this ordinance, I'm gonna be in violation. Because all I'm trying to do is find the time to maintain my property. And I work 60 hours a week,
But you can't do it on the weekends?
Does that include?
but that's also
what
my
about a
weekends
mower?
too.
What
Yeah,
about
even a mower.
I go out and mow my lawn
At
and I'm
8
buzzing
o'clock at
past some,
night?
yeah.
That's-
Well, but
Okay,
here's the thing,
excuse
so
me,
you're thinking
excuse
about you right now, what about all your neighbors that are affected by this noise?
My
But mine
mower?
is, oh, sorry.
My mower.
Okay, excuse me,
Yes, ma'am.
can I?
Yeah.
We'll have to take the decibels
That's-
over to your house,
That,
the meter.
that's not a
Put his
construction
hand on
activity.
earplugs.
Your mower's not a construction
No,
activity.
what I'm doing
But what
is-
she's doing
Yeah.
is a construction activity,
Yep.
in my
No, you're right.
opinion.
You're
Yeah,
right.
no, you're right. She's
She's right.
absolutely correct.
She's right.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't. But to be honest with you, I mean, I work, our weekends are so short. Once again, I work 50, 60 hours a week. I don't want to always spend my weekend having to maintain my house.
But-
So I
So
try to
what's-
squeeze it in throughout the week.
Now here's the other side of that. I've just worked 60-hour weeks. I'm home on the weekend. I want to chill, and I've got a neighbor who's doing construction at 9 o'clock at night. Kidding?
Well, I mean, usually I'm done before then,
I
but I'm
get
just,
it.
yeah.
I think
We can
that,
see both sides.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, I understand.
What about 8 o'clock?
I think the times need to stand. That's just me.
the times are 7 o'clock at night.
On the summertime, that's a little bit of a challenge because we still have, we have daylight.
If you were living next
That's
to me,
12
there would be
hours.
banging nails going till 8, 9 o'clock until I couldn't see. where I
Okay,
was-
but how is that fair to your neighbors?
But that's, I'm
It
just
doesn't
saying.
happen all the time.
Doesn't happen all the time.
I know,
It's
but I'm just saying, you gotta
Yeah, I
look at
mean-
the whole. We
No,
gotta
I-
look at the
yeah.
whole.
And that's one thing that my husband and I have talked about many times when we're working on our house, right? Is, you know, I'm sorry, and I always tell my neighbors,
Do we
hey,
have-
by the way, I got this.
So
going on."
I had this come up where a guy was doing construction in his garage at midnight because he couldn't sleep.
Ah, that's midnight. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
And that came to a
That's-
screeching halt.
that-
Because, you know what?
That's
Again,
not
the
being a
whole-
good neighbor. That's, yeah,
Exactly.
that's a whole
Okay,
different-
but
But that's 7 to 7 is
he's in
12
his
hours.
garage, and he needs to insulate his garage better.
No, he was doing it with the garage door wide open
Oh, okay.
because he
That he
wanted
was
the
just-
air.
I was
He was
trying-
just not being a
I was
very
going
good
for
neighbor.
No,
it.
I-
I was
That
going
will-
to
that will come up. I think you need to have
Is
hard
there,
times.
is there any language that would be acceptable? Because we're talking about construction noise, and we know that that is somebody making a living at banging and sawing and
And like
cutting.
building a house
And
and
if it-
whatnot, yeah.
If it's a home, if it's our house, if it's my
Yeah.
house, like,
Yeah, like
But
you're
that's
just trying to
construction
maintain it.
noise if you're nailing.
yeah,
Sideboard.
but I'm gonna be doing it with my garage door shut. And
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be, until you move across the street from my house and I have the big floodlights going, and
Yeah.
compressors
There's a
going.
dark skies ordinance.
We've been told that.
I think you should change it to
What, the times
April
are
through November to 8 o'clock.
7 a.m. to 8 p.m., 11 hours of construction.
Once again, Miss Sue, is a lot of us work
No,
until
no, I-
6:30, 6:30 or
no,
7.
I work too.
And we want to try
Yeah.
to squeeze in what we can. That way we don't have to waste our weekends. And not wasting our weekends because we're maintaining our homes and increasing our investment. But, I mean, I'll try to
I'm
squeeze
just
that
trying
crap
to,
in
I'm
during
just
the
trying
week
to
so I can
find a
enjoy my
happy
weekend.
little.
Okay, so
medium.
wait, what
too.
are, what
Yeah,
are the
absolutely.
dates again? We're doing April, May, June,
April
July,
through
August,
November.
September, October, November. So 2/3,
Why don't you change it to May?
75% of the year, you can do construction till 8 p.m.
I mean, that's fine, that's absolutely fine and dandy, but one thing to keep in mind as well, the construction noise also could incorporate our snowplow equipment. How many of us come home at 8 o'clock, it's dark, and we're plowing our driveway with
What
backup alarms?
Totally. And what
That's
happens if
construction
there's
noise.
a water main break and they gotta be digging all
Yeah.
night long outside?
I'm okay with
So
that.
you think snow removal is construction
It's
activity?
using it, no, I don't,
I
but
don't.
it could be misconstrued as that because it's
Well,
heavy
then we
equipment,
need to
right?
exclude.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Do you guys have an opinion?
Well, remember last week we had the guys unanswered loop?
Sorry.
Yeah, no, this is valid opinion, and you're a part of our
Come-
town.
So
Come
push
sit
the
down.
red button.
Or push
No,
the
you don't
button.
have to
No, you
stand there.
can
Come sit down here.
So anyway, Dan and I are sleeping at 5 in the morning and the house down the street, they're working already. It's 5
Banging.
AM. They're taking out the concrete barriers and I said, good for
Oh,
them.
yeah.
I said, workers, finally. I'm a worker.
Mm-hmm.
I want to hear things getting done,
Right.
but that's rare.
Right.
That's rare.
It's not
to
something
hear
that's
that
gonna
at
happen
5
all the
a.m.
time.
Right, if I heard that at 5 a.m. every morning, I'd be like, oh my.
That's when you have that conversation with your neighbor.
Exactly. So there's so many.
I know,
I get it.
I know.
That, I think there has to be some kind of boundary in place.
No,
And,
I
you know,
hear
on the
it.
one day, they start, you know,
Yeah.
like, that's a pass. But are you gonna call the sheriff on one day? Oh my God, they start at 5
It
too.
depends. I mean, if
The
we
next
get that
day,
one neighbor that
2
doesn't
days
like
in a
it-
row, 3 days in a row, yeah, I might hassle them.
So I think there should be an ordinance for noise.
Yeah, I mean,
And
every town I've ever lived in,
And
there
I'm
is one.
trying to
Ever,
balance
everywhere.
that part of, what about your neighbor? And I'm like, I totally get it. Like,
And that's a
how do we
conversation.
create an ordinance that is friendly
Yes,
to our neighbors?
yes. Well, and we can get our work done. I get it,
Yeah.
So-
but I can tell you, there's nothing worse than hearing nail hammering or saws going at
Well,
10
shoot.
o'clock at night.
Even like,
Man, I'm glad nobody was living next to me.
should have heard me building the fence.
Should have heard me up on the roof.
So, and something to keep in mind too is like, we have, if there is a construction project being built and the equipment's gonna leave, it's gonna show up. I've had trucks show up at my house at 5 o'clock in the morning, loading up the equipment to get it out of the yard, to take it back to Jackson. And I mean, that's gonna be construction noise
And
as well.
I hear you. I
I also
think
don't
that
want
if
it
it
to
was,
be Melanie Ranch
if
or
there was some way to
Teton
put
Village or-
repetitive noise, you know, like it happens over and over and over. If it happens the one day,
Right, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
you
yeah.
know, it's
Days,
like, you
everyone's
have to
gonna give
kind of
that a pass.
accept that piece.
I can't see anyone screaming over one
Cor-
day.
Yeah,
Correct.
you know,
yeah.
So, and I think that in the ordinance, I think
Wait, can you
There's-
read it again, Christine? Have her read it one more time. Let's digest this.
Okay, so let's double back here.
Yeah.
Because it comes in hand with this.
Oh, is that in the?
So this is further down the line for a discussion item.
Oh,
So the reason this came up, and I decided that perhaps maybe something in the land use development code needs to be implemented, because
Yes.
if you read this ordinance has a definition for noise. It's only a definition. Okay, so then nowhere else in the ordinance does it talk about construction activities or construction times.
It just
So what I
defines
was
it.
trying to incorporate or establish construction times. Okay, so, again, coming back to this one. Construction activities and all related sounds from construction activities shall have an established time frame of 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. on regular, Monday through Friday, weekdays, and 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. on weekends, Saturday and Sunday, and legal holidays during the month of April through November. On the months of December through March, the established construction activity timeframe will be 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Monday through Friday, weekdays, and 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on weekends and legal holidays.
Can we?
What about if you change from April to May?
I wouldn't even do that.
Okay.
Greater than one day.
Yeah. Because I can tell you, every
Yeah,
town
I
I've
can
ever
see that.
lived in, you're not even allowed to do construction on a Sunday.
Correct, yeah,
You can't, Sundays are like, absolutely not.
Well-
So this is an
But if it was,
unusual
if it was
area.
one day, like if you came and you did your equipment on one day, nobody's gonna ever.
No one's gonna.
No, and to be honest with you, I also am a decent neighbor and go and tell my neighbors,
Yes.
hey, by the way, I'm gonna go fix my fence this weekend.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be making some noise,
Yeah.
just a heads up, just let me know if I get in your way. But
I would, if
we
you,
have to realize, well, we don't have to realize. What I would like for us to understand is that Alpine has always been a blue-collar worker town. All of us who have set our living up in Jackson, couldn't afford to live in Jackson, moved down here. And we've carved out our little piece of our little town for ourselves. And the only way we've all done this is by working our butts off and doing it ourselves, right? So we are blue collar workers, and by doing and stating that, that's how we get things done, and we have to do it on the weekends or after hours. Now, I totally understand wanting it to have a certain limits, and I can get on board with that on the time frame. But I think we need to have that little bit more of an understanding that this is still a blue collar worker, and a lot of us try to do what we can to get
I don't
things
think
done.
that can be defined.
No, but I want us to understand and realize what I'm trying to fight for here, right?
No, and I get it. I think that if you're doing a construction project, it's gonna be, okay, it could be greater than 4 days. Let's say if you're
Yeah.
building your own fence
Yeah, that
and you got
took
4 days or a week,
Yeah.
but if it's greater than a week, here is your noise ordinance that
Yeah.
has to be followed.
I can
If
see
y-
that.
I don't wanna limit you in your grading. I don't wanna
Right.
limit Pat, and she wants to dig up, plant some
flower bed,
trees and
yeah.
do some stuff, and I don't want, if you have to put in a new sprinkler zone and you got a puller and you're
Yeah.
doing it on a weekend, I don't wanna create a law that then has somebody running around going, this ratchet
can't
going,
do that,
you can't
yeah.
do that. So, that
Yeah.
I don't want. So if
But-
it says that we have a greater than, or 2 days, that's, or 3, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You're at home, you got home early, you're
Yeah.
gonna do all this work, by Monday morning, it's done.
Yeah,
Greater than 3 consecutive days.
Greater than 3 consecutive days. That gives you the weekend, it gives any homeowner the weekend to do whatever.
yeah.
And if they're causing a problem, they're gonna have to go to their neighbor.
Yeah, go talk to the neighbors. I mean,
I
and
don't
Sue,
wanna-
I absolutely understand that. It's just, and I can see where you're coming from, but what we have to realize is
You wanna
that
put it
there
in
will be at
right
some
there.
point in time, somebody else who's gonna move in and who does not
I
like
think
the
Well,
we should-
neighbor.
well, you have to
And it's gonna
realize, I mean,
babysit
I
them.
get that this town has so much
That's
development
ratchet.
coming, so you have to look at the big picture.
Yeah.
But I'm also thinking about the poor person who just worked a 12-hour day and just wants to get some sleep on Saturday morning,
Totally.
and they got 5 a.m. going off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So,
So
and
I'm
that's
looking
just-
at both.
That's
What are
completely
you doing?
disrespectful, and that's not what a good neighbor does.
And you'd be shocked how much
Oh,
of that
no, I
I've
would
seen
not.
already in my short period of time here in Alpine.
No, but I mean, I think that making an ordinance that actually functions so that people can actually do stuff around their house.
I agree.
Is, we're doing something smart, rather than, well, you
I
can't make that noise.
But I think there needs to be boundaries, because again, I don't want to hear some guy hammering and sawing at midnight because he's just wired and can't sleep.
Yeah.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
That's not a good neighbor.
It needs to be somewhere.
Okay?
So I like that idea, no greater than 3 days, is that what we decided?
3 consecutive days.
Consecutive days,
Consecutive days.
consecutive days, good, good, good.
And then can we increase that in the summertime till 8?
Wait, what was it, 7 to 7? That's 12 hours.
Right, but
7 to 7,
But that's not somebody coming, I mean, so there are a lot of guys that
April
show
through
up
November.
at 10 o'clock. You got some.
Oh, that's true, you're right, you're right,
It's
you're
like
right. Noise is allowed from 7 to 7,
Yeah.
but they
7 to
show up whenever.
You got this, it's
it
not just
depends on how
one.
long they have to run around to
Yeah.
get parts.
Yeah.
Now, I will say that when they started excavating over here, man, I could hear that thing up until 10, 11 o'clock.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
ridiculous.
Our
Honestly,
neighbor
it was
fires up his
ridiculous.
damn dump truck
It was not
at
cool.
6 o'clock on a Saturday morning and leaves it
Yeah.
idling for an hour and a half.
I know. It's,
I'm like, oh, he must be going to work today. Gotta let
so
him
like,
warm up for
we
an
need
hour.
boundaries, we need boundaries, and we need boundaries. That's all. And again, I come from a place where there are strict boundaries, and Sundays are off
And I
completely.
have-
And by the way, holidays too.
And I have worked at places as well that have those strict boundaries,
Yeah.
and it crippled us on actually getting the job done in a timely manner. So I can see both sides.
So how is it reading? We've just added that one sentence, no more than 3 consecutive days.
Right.
And then the summertime until
Sorry.
8 o'clock.
8. Okay.
Oh, did we change, what?
Can we change the summertime hours until 8?
Well, it's not really summer, it's spring, summer, fall. Because we're cutting the times back strictly for a quarter, which is winter.
Well, and remember, when you.
Because
put
it's
the clock
dark at
8
4.
o'clock, she's gonna get dark.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's gonna start getting
It's
cold.
gonna get dark.
Exactly.
So unless you're out there hardcore with your headlamp and
Mm-hmm.
your skill saw,
You must
I
have
don't
seen us
think
standing
there's
on a
gonna,
fence
I
that
don't
one
think
year.
there's gonna be a lot of dudes pulling that off. So,
Well, again, you can keep your garage door open and you could be going
Oh,
to
yeah,
town
yeah,
in there,
yeah.
getting, you know what I mean? So,
But are you in a subdivision?
yeah.
You're in a subdivision, so the subdivision has rules that might even be greater than us,
Oh, yeah, that's true.
right?
That's true.
And so, aren't you the president?
Not anymore.
Okay. So, I mean, that's your avenue.
Right.
Yeah.
You're calling somebody and saying,
Right, but I'm looking at the massive amount of construction that is starting and continuing and going to be, and
Sure. I
so
agree.
I'm just looking at the
I
whole.
agree,
I'm
I
looking at
agree.
the whole. Sorry,
I'm guilty.
yeah.
I'm the worst.
See, I look at the person next door who just pulled crazy days and just wants to sleep. It's like, really? I have to listen to this hammering at 5 a.m.? You know what I mean?
Okay, so
I
are
look
we
at that side
changing it to 8, or what are we doing? Somebody tell me something.
7 to 7 is how it stands, and Dan and Mo would like it to be to 8 p.m.
Yes.
You know what?
on
I would
that,
like it to be
3 quarters
I will
of the
take
year.
that. I would like it to be 8 p.m. because that gives me a solid hour when I get home from work.
But it's not you.
No, but I'm putting myself, if somebody else has to do this
Sure,
as well.
but remember, you're not 3 consecutive days. If you came home and did work on Friday till 9 o'clock, that's not breaking the ordinance.
Okay.
So even if it was 7 o'clock, you're not breaking the ordinance because it's
So
not
you're
3.
saying she could do it till 8 o'clock, 8:30?
9.
She might be able to push it till 9, as long as she's not out there hammering her fence for 3 consecutive days.
Correct.
However, she could take a break for 2
Absolutely.
days and
Absolutely.
come back and finish it.
Absolutely.
Why do people play that game? That's so crazy.
And
And the
it-
way you're saying it, it sounds like you have seen people play that game. I do not have time for those
She's married to a
shenanigans.
contractor.
It's true.
So,
Find the
so
workaround.
that 3 consecutive days is actually not
All right.
really,
I can
I
deal
mean,
with
it's only there for the people who are the
abusing it.
do-your-homers.
Right.
And if you're gonna be a professional guy, most professional guys are not gonna be there Saturdays and Sundays.
yeah, no, that's true.
They're done, just like
Well,
we're
again,
done,
that's
but we're
why
done.
this guy over here was excavating and it
Okay,
was a
so
do-it-yourself.
are we leaving it at
Leave
7?
it.
Okay,
Leave it.
okay, I want to move on to the next one.
Okay.
Enforcement.
Enforcement. Okay, I added, just a couple of words in there.
126.
125,
Oh, there it is.
page, item number 2, it just didn't read right. Town council,
Notice
town
of hearing.
attorney. So I
Including town
added
council, town-
council in there, because it
Yes.
was town attorney.
Yeah. that's
So,
good
I mean,
call.
I think the council needs to
Yep.
be part of that,
Yep,
okay?
Okay.
we did do that.
Okay, second page. Enforcement, item number 2. I added in weekdays during normal business hours unless unexpected circumstances apply and/or visits have been arranged. So with that said, for the audience here, building or property inspections will be made at reasonable times during
Weekdays.
weekdays, there needs to be a comma there. Normal business hours. I took out daylight hours, I don't know.
Yeah.
During normal business hours.
Unless unexpected circumstances apply and/or visits have been, I should probably put prearranged.
Prearranged, prearranged, I would agree.
Okay. So that way it gives a little bit more flexibility if you can get your building inspector out there. If you
Yeah.
need to do something, they can prearrange
Well, that's
it.
building the relationship with your building inspector, and
Yeah.
that's not a bad idea.
That's not a bad idea. Okay. So then on page 127 at the top, item number 2. Town of Alpine shall hold harmless the planning and zoning commission members, is what I added in. The town administrator and building official from all personal liability for any damage which may accrue to any person or property as a result of any act or omission associated with the administration and enforcement of the land use development code. Town attorney or the local government liability pool selected attorney as applicable through final determinations of such proceedings shall defend any suit brought against the town of Alpine, and again, the Planning and Zoning Commission members, zoning administrator, or building official.
I like it.
I was thinking of you guys.
Thank you for, say why.
I'm gonna sleep well at night.
I didn't know I shouldn't have been.
There you go. Okay, so, and then I was sitting and I was thinking, so, page 128, orders in writing. I
Oh.
would like to increase that fee. So, orders in writing, the zoning administrator with approval from the Planning and Zoning Commission member shall order in writing the remedy of any violation. The order shall be sent via certified mail. If the recipient fails to pick up the certified mail, a delivery fee of $30 for the civil service fee of the officer, oh, I might want to add something, will be assessed for each violation letter. I
that's a
think we
valid
need
point.
to.
Yes.
I think.
100%.
Okay, so it was 15. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
But if you get a
Absolutely.
return.
See, I'd make it 50.
well, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I'd take it right to the 50. And, you know, if I'm a nice guy, I'd go right to the 100.
Ain't gonna happen.
I'm gonna go with the 50. I
Let's go
see
with
your
the
50.
See your 30, raise you up 50?
I'll raise you a 50, but you're gonna have to keep the 100.
Okay, now, now that I'm thinking about this, the officer, and I want to put and/or town municipal officer.
Yes.
Is he an officer or is he a code person? What is he?
No, it would be
What would-
Oh,
an
yeah, he's-
officer.
Okay,
Is it a sworn?
Well,
Yes, it was.
okay.
so how do you collect that fee? If the guy
Put
doesn't,
a lien on the property?
okay, so that's gonna cost you more than $50.
No, I don't know, that was a question.
just-
Put a lien on the property?
Sure.
Is
well,
that a
you-
better way to?
that's- No, but that's how you're gonna collect. You're gonna put a lien on, and that's gonna cost you more than $50.
Okay,
Oh,
I'm out there.
Riddle me this.
Riddle me this. I'm going out there, Mr. Scannell.
Which is gonna happen.
You are in violation of blah, 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 blah. Okay? You
Well,
didn't
blah,
pick
blah,
your-
blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, you didn't pick your mail up, so not only are you gonna get a $750 fine, now you're gonna get a $50 fine on top of it. So, in order for me to remove that violation and/or take you to court, you're gonna have to pay that $800.
Okay. And if he says, I don't have the money?
we take payments.
Then you lean the house.
I'm
Then you
just,
lean it.
you guys are all being the
Dan
devil's
Scow
advocate.
says that's the deal that you have to do on being in
Wouldn't,
business
if you,
these days.
okay, so then riddle me this.
Just saying, the lien, you didn't say it was $750 a day. You said
Well,
it was,
this is
that's
an
when-
order in writing, so this is,
Say that
you've
they're in
been
violation.
determined that you're remedying a violation.
okay, so it
So
could
I'm
be more than
remedying-
$750 a day.
It could be more than $750 a day. But, and I gave you something, but you didn't, you knew what was coming and you decided not to pick up your certified letter. And thinking that you're not gonna, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I'm with it.
And then I have to send somebody out there. I'm thinking about covering the municipal officers' pay to get him out there.
The Hyundai.
For a hun-
I think you're gonna move right to the Hyundai.
What about if we go 50 for now?
See how council reacts to that number.
Exactly. You'll see how they-
Because I think they may push back on that.
Well, it's a penalty. I mean, they already accepted the $750.
No, not fine.
No, but they accepted it.
Yeah.
So now we wanna collect the $750.
The only way we can do that is giving them that letter. The only way
Or-
they can do that is.
And they might pick up their certified letter and then it's like happiness all
Yeah.
around.
Yeah, but they're picking it up, doesn't mean you're gonna get paid.
Okay, but
But you know what?
this,
I think
this-
9 out of
this
10 times
50
you are.
This 50 is only if you want to be obstinate and not pick up your certified letter.
Got it.
Yeah.
You got it. Thank you. Just trying to work
So-
them, see it and understand all
That's
the,
perfect. This is why there's all sorts of us on this
Play
board.
good.
Okay,
So we
where
can get things
we
figured
are
out.
next.
Okay, so, let's
1:30.
see, we talked about, okay, so now we're on to 6.
Definition.
So we talked about, I think we did some of these before because they're in red and I should have put in
We did.
a different color. But I wanted to add copyright.
Yeah,
I saw it.
yeah, I saw that on the email.
So I came up with that definition. What do you think? The exclusive legal right that protects original works of authorship as soon as an author fixes the work in a tangible form of expression, whether by print, publication, film, or recorded/recording of materials.
So tell me, when would this apply? How would this be?
Well, that gets into our other discussion
We're gonna get there.
item.
Oh,
This
we're
is-
not, we're just not there yet.
This
We're just
an
not there
ordinance
yet.
is
Okay.
coming.
But I
Desired
didn't know if
ordinance.
we needed an example.
Okay.
And
can't
Sue was
hurt.
thinking that maybe we didn't need that example.
Well, based on what I Googled and I researched a couple of those items and they said it was redundant, but I think in this
In light of-
situation, it's a
Yeah.
good thing.
I think it's a good thing to.
Okay, so are we good with that?
Yep.
For now, until I hear. how it's
Until
gonna
you
be
hear my
used.
story? Okay. And then due diligence, we talked about last
Easement,
time.
we
Easement, we
talked
talked
about.
about last time. We talked about hardship,
Hardship and
impervious.
impervious.
Jurisdiction, we made the correction on that. So the government unit that adopts and enforces all codes, including but not limited to IBC, IRC, IFC, IMC, and the IBC of the jurisdiction.
Chris,
Do you want me to spell those code references out or not?
Well, I know from talking to some people that they would like, we got too many acronyms, and they would like it spelled out.
Might as
Okay,
well.
your people want it spelled out.
yeah, and we will need
And
to,
I'm guilty of it all the time, and
because you're going to submit this all as one.
One
Yes.
happy document.
Remember, you needed to change something in the number, we'll go back to it in the ones that I went through.
Yeah, we,
Because it didn't have some of the code, numbers changed on Article 4. So we'll go through, I have it right here, so we can go through
Perfect.
it, so. I
That's
just
the
wanted-
one, that's the one that I didn't really get to yet.
Yeah, because.
Okay,
you guys need
spell
me.
that out. Okay, and we decided
cut
we
you off.
needed a definition
wanna
for
play with me.
landscaping, correct?
improve.
So I came up with, to improve the
So-
appearance, the process of making a yard or other piece of land more attractive by altering and/or adding ornamental features. The planting of trees, shrubs.
Comma.
Grass or other ornamental,
Ornamental vegetation.
yeah, exactly, vegetation.
We talked about, it was just mentioned in one of our conversations, we're not gonna make people get a permit for re-landscaping their lawn, right? We
No.
kinda talked about, I just don't
But
remember
the-
where we landed.
But the landscaping was there because of the setback.
Exactly.
right.
That's why
Okay,
we're.
that's why we
So,
got,
and that
okay.
would be,
I just
that
wanted
was
to
in
double
that
check, I just couldn't remember exactly.
That's how we got
chapter 3, I
I think
think,
so.
or something.
I know we talked about, it, I just can't remember exactly where we landed with it, pardon me.
Okay, and then we decided that we needed a definition for master plan, that I think we talked about last
The
week.
towns which you added.
Okay, so, remodel, she
Yep.
sent me that, we'll add that in there.
Okay,
So, since, I was on my fact-finding mission, I came across reproduce. And again, I'll show you it in a minute, but I came up with a definition: to produce again, or to cause to exist again or anew. And there's a specific
Yep,
reason that I've got that in there.
that's a good,
Okay.
yep.
I got rid of that first setback one, and we went with this second setback one. And then we did violations. Now.
Okay, wait, right of way is confusing the way it's written.
Okay, well, we can't have that.
And we're gonna add, and we're adding here in the Rs, we're adding remodel.
Yes.
So,
Wait, go
right
back
of
to the
way,
fr-
Go back to the right of way. What do you want? to do
right
with
of way
the
establishes the use of property for town matters without conferring ownership, i.e. snow storage utilities.
right away.
And then it said including, comma, but not limited to.
Okay,
What that including but not limited should be after ownership, i.e. snow storage,
Yeah.
utilities, fire access. It's just not worded properly.
Okay.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yep.
I get it.
Establishes use of property for town matters without conferring ownership,
But not limited to.
including but not limited to snow storage,
Okay.
utilities, fire access.
There you go.
Oh,
It's just not in the right.
fire access.
Fire access.
Where have we seen that before?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Live and learn, baby.
Okay, and then I had a note somewhere that we needed to add one more definition, but
Oh,
I can't.
Here it comes.
are you making fun of me?
Landscaping town
Oh,
codes.
I would never do that.
Oh, yes, you would.
We deleted
Definition
a
of-
couple of those.
Oh, elevation, definition of mean elevation of the fronting street or something along those lines, is what my lioness
Oh,
notes
and
say.
now that we're there, let's
Oh.
hold on to that.
Okay,
Have we changed that part of the ordinance where we are measuring the middle of the road to the top of the roof to establish the height of a building?
Is that chapter 3?
It's in
I
check,
don't have chapter 3 here.
but that's part of that.
So next meeting, we're gonna do chapter 3.
All right,
How's that
Oh.
sound?
just
And then we'll
Homework.
make sure we fine
put it in
tune
the
that.
notes.
So,
which one, the mean elevation?
Measure, no, because like,
so chapter 3 and 4 are our top go-getters for
Correct.
next.
Alpine Meadows decided that they were gonna use the center of the road. I think
Yep,
that
the
if we're
crown
gonna
of the road.
continue that merit, we could take that and run with it. Center of the road is gonna be where we're taking to figure out where the height is. And then there will be no discussion as to,
As to how high a
as to who
structure
built
is.
what, when and where, and it's
Because
too
it-
high or too low, because you actually have a datum that you can measure to, and
There it is,
tear your roof up, you're too high.
mean elevation, there you go, okay.
Okay, you were saying, you had more stuff to talk about.
Oh, no, if we're gonna go over number 4 next time, but, because we talked about, I just didn't want you to throw all this stuff together to throw to the town council if we didn't get
We're
the
not-
international code, and there was a couple of code changes that we need to make sure
Okay.
and add into number 4.
Yes, there was addition
need to be adopted.
2021.
Yeah.
And there was a fire one, and then I was gonna have my people double check and make sure that the fire code was the right one,
Yes,
And you might wanna look at the mechanical code.
and the mechanical code.
but I just didn't know, didn't want you to start throwing everything to the TC without
Yeah, no.
having.
No,
it
we
on
have
there.
one more meeting
Okay,
before we make it a nice, happy little package.
Yeah.
And then can we set up a special meeting to sit with them and explain to them why we are doing these things?
We can give it a whirl.
We
I
need
think that
to
would be-
because
I think it would be wise, because that's, all of this stuff is coming from
Okay,
us.
so,
we need to, because
They're
we
gonna
won't
have
have time in
You
a
can't
council
just
meeting.
hand it to
and they
somebody,
won't.
it'd be like handing this to Pat and saying,
Yeah.
here, figure
Here
it
you
out.
go.
Figure it out.
Pass it.
you
She
are,
making fun of me.
you're a great note taker, that is for
okay,
sure.
so I think we can ask them if we can be on their workshop for September.
Oh, good night. Okay,
And it's the day
after Labor Day,
Labor Day.
they might cancel
Isn't,
that.
what's the one, oh, I think, didn't they table that and moved it to after, oh, no.
That was the election.
That was
That's
the
the
election, that
election
was the
one.
20th, the primary.
We can ask for one. What's the
I
worst?
think it
need
would
to
be- I
ask.
think it
The
would-
worst they're gonna say is no, sorry.
Well, I think it would be wise, because I think that they're frustrated with how we've been bringing it, and I wanna
It's all gonna be one happy little package, just like they requested.
And there's no way we're gonna go through that in a council meeting, so that means they're gonna
Correct.
take it home and read through it, and
Correct.
then we gotta wait
Well,
another month.
Yeah, or if we can send it home with them and have them read it before, and then we can go through it.
But I mean, we can go, I mean, it's,
Yeah.
you know how fast we're going through
Yeah.
it right here. It's not like, here are the changes.
We're better
Well,
off doing a
here's the-
special meeting with them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
agree.
here's the thing, is that this stuff is not easy to read through all at once.
Yeah,
And if you really want to do your due diligence and do your homework the way that we're supposed to do, then we have to take it home and read it. It's a full-time job.
Okay,
Okay, what's next?
so we can either ask for a special meeting or to be put on the September workshop.
Ask them what works for them, and we can go through both. How's that?
Okay, that sounds like a plan. Okay,
Now, September, I'm getting ready for winter, so I'm gonna be stacking wood late at night.
don't make noise. I'm gonna bring my
Hey, you
decibel
dang
meter over there.
woodchuckers, quit chucking all that wood.
okay, so can I, skip to a different one and then
Yes.
we'll double back?
Yes,
I'd like to go to public plan documents for public review, since we just talked about this.
Which page is that there?
That's this one.
This ordinance one?
That's
Okay.
That's this one right here.
Okay. All right, oh,
Oh,
oh.
yep.
Okay,
plan.
yep.
Oh,
Okay, so I was recently asked, I have to get my visual aids out. Is this mine or yours? This is mine.
Mine's
Stop
right
trying
here.
to steal mine.
Planning's
Okay,
up.
right here.
Oh, yeah.
there's a question regarding copyright and/or reproduction rules for any architectural and engineering documents that are submitted by an applicant for the purpose of permitting. That's what you're referring to.
Yeah, that's what I'm referring to.
The administration would,
Okay, so what I've been asked to do is I've been asked to take this plan set, get it in digital format. In digital format, then when we go ahead and we create our meetings and we put our presentation up on the big screen for the public, they want the public to be able to look at all these plans and look at all the plans. And,
Not just here, but at the safety of
here,
their own.
exactly.
And then with the ability
Anywhere where they
to,
decide that, you know, you've seen the published packet online. So all of everybody's plans will be on the big screen, shall we say, or on the internet or wherever, you know, so whatever. And so I've thought about this and I've talked to some people and there's mixed reactions.
yeah.
Because you're paying a lot of money.
Yeah, and now you're
For
just gonna put it
construction
online and they're
drawings,
just gonna print it out
for
and give
an
it to
arch-
somebody else, yeah.
I like his plans, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah,
Exactly. So, however, with that said, he copyrighted his plans. And on a drawing set over here, you gotta get the right drawing set, it says.
oh my
somewhere-
gosh, I
somewhere
never
it
thought
says
about this
not-
rabbit hole.
Not for reproduction.
Not for reproduction.
Okay.
So Dan, what
you're
have you
That is
experienced?
why-
never, ever in the planet would you ever find personal documents
Yeah,
out on
Because
the
there's
web
usually
for
the
everybody to
homeowner's
see,
name
because
and-
it's all of it. It's not just the
Yeah.
plans, it's all of your stuff.
yeah.
So, absolutely not. The only thing I can say that the the town would ever be able to produce is the copy of their
Permit
building
application.
permit application. That's it.
Yeah, I don't know if I want my stuff.
Never, ever.
broadcast.
You are opening Pandora's box
Yeah,
to stealing, I mean, plans, some plans cost millions of dollars. If Jim says he can guarantee the town from theft and reproduction of that somewhere else, well, that's for him to decide, but I would never,
Well,
ever allow
And
it.
if you
Okay,
read
so-
his reply, this is an area of law he doesn't know anything about.
Yeah,
Right.
I would never do it.
So
I
I
wouldn't want my
want,
plans on.
so I've thought about it and I went in and I talked to Monica. And,
So has council actually said we want every single thing posted online?
the mayor and the town clerk
Wants
told me-
everything posted
have
online.
told me that they want that online.
I don't, there's no
Okay,
other town
and-
that
and-
does that.
And if, I'm just trying to do what
Yeah,
I'm
you're
told.
good, you're good.
So, but part of
There's-
me
there's
is like, I've thought long and hard about this, and if I'm paying a lot of money, those are mine.
Mm-hmm.
Those are mine. I paid the engineer, I paid the architect.
That's right.
They put a copyright on it for their own specific. So, again, however, I did go in and, before Monica left for medical leave, I said, I really am having a hard time with this. And it, whatever.
This needs to be brought up at a council meeting.
well, okay, this is where I'm going with this. So she said, well, have you talked to Jim? Well, no, we are not allowed to talk to Jim because we gotta get direction from, and so I was given direction, and this is what he came back with. So this is an area of law that I know nothing about. I would have to get permission from the council to obtain an opinion from a copyright attorney.
I don't,
With that said, we could just get permission from architects and engineering. The easiest way to avoid the problem and hiring a copyright attorney would to have the architect and the engineers sign a release to allow the town to publish the documents online.
I do not agree with that. I would not want my
It's
plans
not,
online.
it's
is
not
another
the
layer of
architect's
layers.
plans.
Yes.
This is
It's
another
the
layer.
owner's plans.
Yeah.
It's the owner's engineering. It's the owner's
Yeah.
everything.
If these are my plans for my home,
No,
piss off.
absolutely not.
No.
They are opening Pandora's
Yep.
box and they will get themselves in a
Yep.
legal tussle.
I would
Totally
be
agree.
mad.
Okay, I'm just
Yeah.
trying to
Totally
do.
agree.
And
I hear you.
we're having this conversation.
We're having the conversation.
So,
It's like, it
I-
doesn't feel good to me.
No, I agree with Dan.
So I'd like to maybe put together a recommendation.
From
I don't know. What do you guys,
So-
what do you guys
From our
think?
So-
committee, based on what we feel?
Yeah.
If
think
I,
we
re-
should.
Or,
if I recall correctly, let me just unpack this. If I recall correctly, anytime, if there's anything that needs to be inspected, or if the law enforcement needs to come in and look at a layout of a house, they're not gonna go online. They come in and they look at the plans. And that's how they have to do it, because it's not published. And I don't think that this is something that should ever be published.
I don't think they have the legal right to do that.
I don't,
Yeah, I
I don't think
agree.
so.
I really
I
don't.
don't think so.
I don't
Now that
agree.
I think about this, I don't think they have the legal right.
Have you dealt with any of
That's
this?
either trespassing or infringement
Yeah.
on your privacy. There's a legal
Yeah,
issue.
I would.
Yeah, you may as well put their social security number on there.
Exactly.
Call
Absolutely.
it good.
And your bank account information.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Why not?
Just take it.
Oh, you only
I don't
spent 2
need it.
million?
It'll be
Oh,
fine.
come on.
I could have done this for 1.5.
No.
You know what? I honestly don't think they have the legal right
I
to
don't
do
think
that.
they can ask for this.
Yeah, I don't think they can, because you know what?
You are responsible for keeping the public knowledge safe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
Our
your job.
citizens,
You're like
yeah.
a banker,
yeah.
right? Tax information, all that stuff. This is private information,
Yeah.
all of it. I wouldn't, I
would
don't
be
wanna
mad.
look at
so you
anybody
see
else's.
what my position is and what a spot that I have been put in.
Then,
What's
then
the-
planning and zoning should
What's the
appear before
purpose?
council with our conclusion.
So what
So the
let me
purpose
ask-
is in order to be transparent.
Okay, so
So
here's,
everybody knows what's going on.
so here's
So
the
if
thing.
you don't attend a meeting, you can sit at
Okay.
home and you can know how high the Sure Stay building is going to be, or how it got permitted, or whatever it
Okay,
says.
so 10 years from now, there's a break-in, because the crooks knew exactly the layout of that property.
There you go.
You know who I would sue?
The town.
I would sue you
For putting that
guys
stuff on the
and
board.
or the mayor.
So
and
the
or
liability
clerk,
here
and
scares
everybody
me
else
that
was
that would
associated.
even be
Did you notice
suggested.
That's why I put that other disclosure in there?
I would never.
Uh-uh.
I'm
So-
gonna save them from themselves.
Yes.
We're not doing
Yes.
this.
I'll second that.
I concur.
So, okay.
So make a
That's-
motion.
That's great.
I
that-
can't.
that
It's
we,
Because you've got shysters out there that are now gonna study your floor plan and know exactly. how
And
to
you know
break
what?
in.
You know, it's kind of funny that you said that. I have a client who has a house in Arizona, The burglars went through the bathroom window, knew exactly where the safe was,
Bingo.
walked in with a sawzall, cut the sheetrock out, ripped it out.
There you go.
Cut it open, and were gone in 5 minutes and got away with a lot.
Uh-huh. And how did they know all that?
Somebody knew it.
Exactly.
Somebody knows the
And,
layout.
and now we're giving them a carte
Yeah,
blanche. Here you
no
go.
way. No
Have
way.
at it.
I see. Oh,
There's no way.
God, no.
No,
No.
I don't agree
No.
with this.
And again, I don't
I-
think this town has the legal right to do that.
I'm okay with, like, how we do it with our, putting our agenda.
Sure.
That's what they need to know. If they wanna know anything else, they can come in and talk to you and
Yeah,
say
I
why
mean,
they think they need to know.
Listen, if they get to see this page, right here, of where they're at,
Yeah.
the residential building permit application, and how big it is, and how many square foot it is, and,
Yeah,
you know, then that's it.
yeah,
But that's all anybody in the public needs to know.
yep, I concur with that statement.
That is.
I do not agree that we need
No.
to publish these plans in the World Wide Web, absolutely
Yeah.
not.
And
No.
again, I don't think we legally.
And that's,
can demand-
and then you're going to even farther data, because they wanna show all of the things that
No.
you get. No,
No,
it's not their responsibility
No.
to know this stuff.
Well, and plus, aren't there people's home addresses on these permit applications?
bet.
I mean, are you kidding me?
yep,
Yeah, no, thank you.
Well, but I think that would obviously be, fall under maybe public information, maybe,
Well, that's fine,
yeah.
that's
their
fine, but
address.
not the way to somebody's, you know.
Yeah.
yeah, no.
Listen,
Might as well
I think
just
if-
give them the combo to the safe.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess there's not really even a good way to put like a conceptual drawing instead of like the plans. You can do like their conceptual drawing, like, oh, this is what it's gonna look like.
Well, who's
And
gonna
ju-
spend money for that?
Yeah, but,
Well, we have, well, that's true, but some
No.
of the blueprints have that,
Yeah,
like the extended say have
But-
that, and,
But
do we?
they're in a plan set, and then to extrapolate
Oh,
that
gotcha.
out
That's so
of a plan
copyrighted.
set.
Okay.
And I'm not saying that, you know, I mean,
I can
if
see
you, like these ladies, they wanna know what's going on, they're here, they're active,
absolutely.
they're.
You gotta
they're-
show up.
they're
You
part-
gotta do
They're
the
part
work.
of the community.
That's
If they
right.
wanted to call me and say, hey, I understand that there's a low-income housing project coming down the pike, what do you got? Come on in,
Yeah, we'll have that
and
conversation.
we can have that conversation.
Or
but-
come to the meeting and listen.
Exactly, but to have, so I'm in a tough spot, and I need direction.
I would
From
not,
my
I'm, as a chairperson,
chairperson, who is
I am-
my boss.
going to say, as a chairperson of the planning and zoning, I'm gonna say absolutely not. I do not agree with posting these plans in the general public. If the general public would like to know what's going on, they should attend the meetings and ask the questions. If they don't have time to attend the meetings, they can always email and ask. But I do not, if my house was getting built in this town, and I found out that they were gonna post this online, I wouldn't move to this town. I see you don't take our citizens' safety into consideration.
I would say that if the digital copy was securely kept by the building department and/or the administration only for
Record purposes.
record purposes, I could kind of see that, but for public
What was that,
display, absolutely not.
Article
Yeah, I
2.
don't- Yeah,
Okay, so
Absolutely.
again, that gets back into my,
And I get that you're in a tough spot,
yeah.
but we'll
no,
stand.
blame it on us.
Yeah, I take
We'll
that.
stand behind you.
Yeah,
here.
I 100%.
Blame it on us.
I will
And I would think
not,
that asking a legal representative before you even make that,
I don't think it's legal.
push
You
to
can't force
us.
someone to put their
well,
plans
and that's,
on the web.
and that's what, yeah, okay.
can't.
So that is why I put this digital copy will be kept in-house for internal use only
Only.
and
I
will
saw that.
not be provided to any third-party individuals as per copyright regulations / guidelines.
I concur.
Yeah,
I would concur.
Yep.
and I like that
Actually-
List
definition.
that.
The fact that you need
On
to
the-
say,
No, I mean listed on the.
you need to put privacy.
Yeah,
There's gotta be something about personal privacy in that.
yeah, we still.
In
need to
this right
protect
here,
our
the
citizens.
digital copy?
Yes, there's gotta be something in there that's personal privacy
Yeah.
stuff.
And we still have to protect our citizens.
Yeah,
He just hollow-
it just doesn't, I understand what they're trying to do and the sake of, but to be able to
They
go-
wanna be able to be transparent to the public.
We are transparent to the public,
the-
but
the-
we're not gonna give
Anyone
you the
can be-
combination to the safe into the
Exactly.
house.
The building official, if you had a problem on your home, does not go online and tell the community,
Yeah, hey, check
hey,
this out."
so-and-so broke the law.
Yeah.
Are you going under copyright and adding it to that definition? What were you just changing?
I don't know what
The
else.
privacy section. You were adding
I was
privacy.
adding it into section part 2.
Oh, part two, that's part. What page, at the very end, what do we got? What's the number?
Hold on,
Hold
it was
please.
right here, where was it?
La, la, la.
I think it was this page. Nope. Maybe this page.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm in a tough spot.
No,
Page 40, no, I lied.
it was just at the back end.
I know it was
You're
just,
not, because we are,
Oh, it's right,
it's.
right,
it's-
right here,
right here.
page 35.
35.
I will, complete that and we'll revisit that. But so that's the method of my madness of
I
why
agree.
I incorporated some of these changes, so.
That makes sense.
But I'd like to, do that recommendation to them. I'm not sure.
We need to keep our
I'm
citizens
not
safe.
sure.
Yeah, I think
We
that-
will need, we need to keep our citizens safe, and I understand we need transparency, but we also we are here to serve our citizens.
This is transparent?
Yeah, I don't know how much more transparent we can get.
Yeah, I want verbiage on privacy matters.
Okay, I'll work on that.
Yeah, let's, yeah.
Okay, let's move on.
Okay, so that's why I created that.
Okay, that makes
Again, I'm gonna
sense.
take that away from you again.
That's fine, it's fine.
Okay. Ordinance for the sound ordinance, health, safety, and sanitation. Are we going through that?
Well, there's nothing for us to go through. I was just making a statement at council, the council meeting, that I was asked to just kind of look it over, and that's when I said, please make sure, we need to make sure all of our definitions, whether it's an ordinance or in the LUDC or wherever else they lie, that they are cohesive, that they're all the same, because there are definitions here that are different from the LUDC, and they have to be uniform. That was my only issue with this.
And
Okay, and again, that double backs into the noise and then construction activities. So this is listed under section 1 definition. So a definition of noise gives you a definition of the noise at 110 decibels, and it specifies specific times.
you need to change that. 7 to 7, that's 7.
Page 3.
On page 3 of
To
7.
go
One.
with what we
With
have.
what we have.
Yeah.
Just making a notice.
And then, okay, but in here somewhere, and I know Sue
I-
said that she was gonna look this over. I think there also needs to be construction activities as a section, motorized vehicles, test for excessive noise, use of loudspeakers. There needs to be a specific section for construction activities, and I have not been able to find one.
Why can't we just put it in?
Well, we can, but that's why I'm bringing it to you guys.
I think that would probably be really smart. I mean, concrete saws, steel cutting, I mean,
Yeah.
it can get loud.
So.
Now, let me ask you a question. Are the times gonna,
They're gonna change.
they're gonna change based on residential, business, or light industrial?
Well, they're gonna change to what we said in
I see
how
what you're
long
saying.
you could
You
work.
see what I'm saying?
What page are you on?
Yeah. See, now we're getting into something, in a residential neighborhood, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's- But if you're in a commercial district.
There's a fly-by-night operation that delivers freight in the middle of the night, and they show up at like between midnight and 3.
So they have broken it down, day, night, per residential, per business, per light industrial.
Where are you?
Page 3 of 7
7,
on the
here.
noise ordinance.
Right-
page 3.
right here.
Under table 1.
Where I circled?
First reading,
Oh.
yeah, right here, but the residential time, which you circled,
During the day, I can only have 55 decibels?
correct. But then but the day goes from
times.
7 AM to 9, that's gotta say 7.
That's gotta be consistent with what we have.
Exactly.
Correct.
Okay, so,
But is residential different from the business and the light industrial?
Yep.
okay,
And
first
it-
off, there's one light industrial property in the incorporated boundaries of the town of Alpine.
But we haven't done the
Which is-
master plan
which
yet,
is
and that
Melvin.
could shift.
It could shift.
It could shift.
Business industrial, that's not a commercial project, to me. That is something, what is that to you guys?
A welding shop,
Yeah,
a welding
Cabinet
shop,
shop.
cabinet shop,
it's not Jenkins, when
no.
Jenkins Lumber, when they
That's
get.
commercial.
When they get their, so your residential, your business, there, it needs to have another,
Maybe the day residential needs to be, it needs to have its own day and time. And business industrial needs its own day and time, nighttime, so doesn't light industrial.
Or should we just tackle the residential component and let the town deal with the,
I think that
the
if we-
rest?
I think that we have to make each of these sections needs its
own,
its own hours of
Yeah.
operation. And whatever that is for you, that's what it's gotta be.
now let's talk MRC. Ooh, now we got a problem.
Well, that's kind of,
Now we got a problem. How do you define that?
MRC. Well, it's like I don't see, if you're doing mixed residential and commercial, that it's gonna be anything other than retail or some, like a tavern or a, nail salon.
Well, I can tell you that I used to,
but a mixed residential commercial can consist of the Sure Stay building. The, because that's in a mixed residential commercial district. The,
Sure.
so let me just throw this in there.
not that I'm gonna
Not that
be
it's- it's
sawing or hammering over it.
Not that they're
at
gonna
the
have a
Sure
drum
Stay,
solo going out in the
But if
parking
you
lot.
have, and I brought this up to the last group, the last planning and zoning group, that I was in a residential, very nice, my family had a home at the beach, residential right next door, 10 feet away, they built a commercial center with a little not drugstore, like little market on the corner. You know when they deliver milk and cottage cheese?
3 o'clock in the
and
morning.
dark cheese?
3 in the morning?
3 o'clock in the morning, those
Yep.
trucks pull in, you hear
Leave them
those.
running,
I-
doors opening.
Yeah,
Yep.
I have to tell you something, lawsuits just started flying. I mean, it became unbearable, and it lowered their property value. So, it is an issue. I mean, it really is. So the MRC scares me.
Okay,
And how do you define it?
I don't know.
Well,
This
and
is
to be
something we
honest with
wanna
you,
work-
Cisco Foods even shows up at
Yeah.
3 o'clock in the morning.
You know what, I'm gonna chew on this.
Okay,
I'm gonna chew on this. Let me chew on this. 'Cause
let's revisit this.
I kind of brought it to their attention, it's kind of my fault.
And you said what chapter are we going over next time? Did you say?
3 and
chapter
4.
3 and 4? Oh, I already did 4.
That's yours.
So I'll do-
What-
well, I already did 4, I gotta do 3 now.
Yeah,
Okay, so unless you make an ordinance that delivery for grocery can't happen until like 6 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, my gosh.
But I don't think we have control of that.
I don't think we can do
That's,
that.
I mean, I'm
no.
trying to understand
know.
how you would limit that.
Yeah.
Well, and again, this noise ordinance has to be realistic.
Yeah, and plus we don't have anybody to enforce it.
Well, it has to be realistic, I respect that.
has to be realistic.
I just don't see you being able to stop.
Maybe we just leave their decibels in place, because clearly there's been somebody monitored that. I don't know who, but somebody came up with some kind of decibel limit.
I mean, it would be interesting. to
And
figure that out.
we change the day, the timing, the time.
I'm just wondering what 70 decibels sounds like.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know, get your app out.
Well, clearly, light industrial can have more noise.
Yeah, I totally get it, but usually light industrial is surrounded by other light industrial.
Right.
It's
You're
not
not-
next to residential,
Yeah,
yeah, or townhomes, or, yeah.
but then that's us looking at the map. That map,
It goes back to this whole master plan too.
it's the master plan thing. But I think if you're gonna, if subdivisions, the issue is, if we don't have any subdivisions that can't control their community, you know, we don't have that problem. There are subdivisions that control their own communities, that if you had a problem, you're gonna go to your subdivision and say, hey, you know, I put up with it for 2 nights. How many nights is this gonna go on?
But, okay, but I live right there. I'm next to a commercial building.
Which one?
This one. So let's just say they decide to put in something over here that's commercial, that makes noise till 1 o'clock in the, you see what I'm saying? My HOA can't help me. And I will hear it, because I can hear everything going down this road now.
But isn't that what people do when they come to these meetings,
Yes.
right? They voice their concern about, hey, we think that's got noise, and I don't think it's practical.
So, let's go back to maybe not making this as complicated as it potentially doesn't need to be.
Okay.
Why don't we leave the decibels in place, and someone's clearly aware of what those are? That's not our job. And add in maybe more specific times. Allowable.
I think you need to just look at the districts too.
Yeah.
And I think that you're right, if you're an adjacent to a commercial district,
I mean,
or if you're an R1 and you're adjacent to an MRC district,
which is in the process of happening right now.
yeah, so, you know,
So how does me standing on my lot line, when that next inch is MRC, and me standing there with a decibel meter, it doesn't,
Well, that's what it takes.
I don't
That's,
know.
that's what it's gonna take. But I think that the day at 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. needs to be.
our
7
time
p.m.
has to
to
be
be
implemented
in
in
with
here.
what we had just changed before.
Correct.
what
I-
we have.
I think
yeah.
that the
just
night,
got that.
I think the night, 9 p.m. to 7 a.m. should be stricken.
I agree.
And then,
But that could still apply to business and light industrial.
yeah, but that's, you just strike it, and there's no work after, 8 o'clock loud, you know.
But what, on the other hand, like what Ms. Sue just said, is that, there's deliveries for the grocery store. So I've seen Cisco show up at, Subway, they're at 5 o'clock in the morning, dropping off their stuff,
Sure, nice that there isn't any residential next door.
Right, no, I'm just saying, like, we see these guys come into town
Yeah, yeah,
earlier
yeah,
in the
yeah.
morning, so, and, so I
And
don't
when's
know.
their-
You
when's
can't
the latest-
monitor,
when's
you
the
can't
latest-
monitor
when's the
2 o'clock in
earliest
the morning
in the morning
decibels
that
for
a
an
delivery
industrial.
comes to Berlin?
2 in the morning they start coming.
Yeah,
Reverse into the dock, and there's condos
yeah,
along there, this employee has.
uh-huh.
We're not gonna be able to dictate.
We
when people
can't.
Can get their deliveries,
We can't.
it's unreasonable, I
So
think.
let's just look it over,
Okay.
and the best that we can do is
I think we should just adjust the time.
suggestions to the town council that we've looked the ordinance over, and, we have some concerns. And then they're gonna take it from there, and,
Yeah. Not all we can do.
I was just looking at the definitions. This is a whole different can of worms.
okay.
What is domestic power?
Domestic,
Like
domestic
equipment, is that like a
Domestic.
chainsaw?
Domestic power?
Yeah, domestic power equipment, chainsaw?
How about a mower? Snow blower?
Well, that's not.
All right.
How about a drill?
That's an old ass drill, if it's making that much noise.
Making a lot of,
Okay, next.
Okay, what are we on to now?
I don't know, public
public
review?
plan,
Violation discussion.
oh, yeah,
Oh,
yeah, we gotta go to that.
My favorite.
All right. So,
Did we, wait a minute,
yeah, this is the Lasher thing.
did you forget, you skipped the zoning map?
No, zoning map is next.
No,
I don't have a zoning, oh, you're. oh,
we actually skipped the
we
zoning
did
map.
skip the zoning
You
map,
jumped over
sorry,
the
boss.
ordinance,
Yes,
sorry.
You don't
I
wanna
know,
go,
we-
you don't wanna go to the money ordinance? You don't wanna do that one?
Not really.
The penalty? Throw some penalty money? It's gonna go in the penalty box? Be like a hockey game?
Okay, so we did those, and then we didn't do commercial parking yet either. Okay, what you wanna do?
Let's-
I think we
Chairman-
should go to the penalty thing, because that, what Sue said, if we don't enforce that,
Should we do the commercial first and then get down to it and try to get everything done in the list?
well,
Whatever, I don't care. Just, I know, I
Let's
just need
just
to
get it
know,
done.
I just need to know what
you got?
page.
In
We
your
put the
hand right there.
violation issue off a couple of meetings now, we need to tackle it.
Yeah, I know.
What's
That's
in your
fine.
hand right now?
Okay, violation,
All right, there you go.
okay. Go
So-
ahead, take it away.
we had a contractor who built without a permit, we never gave him his
Violation.
violation and his fee for that.
And
And
we also had a tent go up without a permit.
They got a permit.
Yeah, they did.
I rectified that
Yeah.
with their fine.
Both of
So-
them?
One of them got permitted prior to, and the other one got put it, and they got a fine.
Oh, they did get a fine.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay, so
yeah,
never mind.
so we're
I didn't know
gonna,
that
so
was done.
this building without a permit thing, it was 1.5 times his original building permit fee. What was that? What was his building permit fee? Do we know?
I was supposed to do that, but I didn't, because,
Well, now's a great time to look, because we're gonna make it happen. You know what that's about?
I believe I do.
Okay. I just don't need chatter,
Chatter, what do you mean?
meaning,
Conversation, or
Yeah.
what do you mean chatter?
hey, listen, we got fined, and so why doesn't he get fined?
You got fined? When'd you get fined? When'd you get fined?
No, I didn't get fined.
Oh.
Somebody else got fined.
Oh, I see
They
what you
wanna
mean.
know why he's not getting fined.
Oh, I see,
And
I
we
see.
fa-
Now I'm with you.
We, as a
I didn't
board,
pick up what
failed
you
to
were laying
bring
down
that-
there, boss.
oh, well, it's supposed to be written on the outside of the folder, but, you know, that's how that goes. Okay, talks amongst yourselves,
No, well,
what you wanna do.
no, we're just waiting.
So we're looking for the permit fee,
She's gonna get his original permit, and in the penalties, it says 1.5.
1.5, it does. Per day,
His permit, oh, that was sewer. Okay, so building schedule, base, total building costs, rebuilding and project costs. Hold on a minute.
It's all right.
So, $7.50 per unit, 50 cents per square foot.
So that's
So
times 50.
$18.40 was the square foot, so the cost per square foot was $662.88.
What was that?
Double check that.
I got-
$14.80 at 50 cents per square foot,
Okay, so I don't know how many square foot is it?
$18.80.
Oh. 1880.
No,
Times-
$18.40, sorry,
1,840 square feet, correct?
1800,
Times 0.4,
0.50,
736
it's
times
0.50,
0.50?
yeah,
1670.
sorry.
Good job, Sue.
It's getting-
Give me.
I don't know what's happening over here. I'm just writing down the numbers and then I will do the math.
Okay,
after
see, it's
people
almost
figure out
9
the
o'clock.
numbers.
We're
So you've got a
getting
base
loopy now.
rate, you've got 1840 square feet at 50 cents, which would make
And is it
that
times 1.5?
cost per unit 662.88.
I'm sorry, so,
That would be 1 point times 1.5, right? Because it's 1.5
Okay.
times.
so
Right.
now we're gonna do 1.5
So,
times.
oh, it's
then you've
less, the 50 is less.
You've got 920 plus
Okay, so you
Hold
take
on.
these two, that's where you come up.
750,
And then with that
and
is
then
the
1.5
overalls.
times.
So is
So
it this plus
750
this?
plus that,
Eight
So-
per unit.
Okay,
And you
so
got 5 units.
third, okay.
So we're at 2505 per unit. Am I wrong?
He'll tell you in just a minute.
We have 14,
1412.88 per unit.
times 5?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
I'm off by,
You did
You
750
gave
per,
them 10 bucks off.
well, no,
wait, you did $750 per unit plus 50 cents for the square footage.
for the square footage.
Which, the square footage came to 662.88,
That's what I have.
okay? And so if we go to the penalties, it's the very last chapter of the LUDC.
141288,
Are you writing this down?
but that's not 1.5.
No, it's,
Now,
so his 7,064.40, okay, times 1.5 equals 10,596.60. That's his fee, that's his fine.
Okay, somebody write that down.
10,955.60.
10,596.60. And just to make sure, I'm going back to the land use development code right now.
Ouch.
Penalties, appendix, rules. There we go. That's definitions.
Sue, what was that number that Dan wrote down?
10,596.60.
Yeah. Actions for penalties and fines to be brought in corporate name. All actions brought to recover any penalty or fine should be brought in the corporate name of the municipality. Looking for it. Enforcement.
I guess I could get my book out, but
I have,
you guys are doing a good job.
well, we're reading. It's the Board of Adjustment. I remember seeing that.
What chapter are you in?
I'm in chapter,
5?
page 127.
In chapter 5, right?
Correct. The person group firm.
There it is.
Where is,
302?
is it?
Oh, actually, I just saw the number, yeah. Any person, group of firm, corporation, whether principal agent, violating, causing,
What page?
128, $750 fine. Such person, group, corporation shall be deemed guilty, a separate offense, each and every day during the violation of this ordinance is committed.
Okay.
But that doesn't see the, I don't see the 1.5.
No,
I saw it too, Dan, I know.
I know it's,
I think you're looking in the wrong spot.
I think I might be. Hold on.
I think I might look at a different spot.
That's appeals and enforcement.
Is this, remind me, is he commercial or mixed?
It's,
He's R2.
R2,
R2.
thank you.
I think that's where it might be.
That's where I'm reading next. Minimum building height attached, vehicular, fencing, accessory building authorized fire. Don't see anything here. Two, commercial.
Well, I could have sworn it was here. Part 6 rules. That's not it.
Non-conforming. Procedures, maybe it's under the procedures.
Well, if it's only $7.50 a day. That was a 2-week process?
Uh-huh. Hang on, I think I know what you're talking about.
I can't remember where I saw it. I mean, building codes.
Okay. Page 48, my friends. If a person commences building development or remodeling for which a permit is required without having first obtained a permit, they are in violation of this land use and development code. Such person shall pay twice the fee for said permit, associated costs with the town's investigation of the violation, any hearings to abate and including reasonable attorney, engineering, inspector, and surveyor fees. The payment of the fees shall not relieve the person from fully complying with the requirements of the Land Use Development Code, nor does it automatically secure a permit to preclude a violation for the given infraction. Provisions of this article do not apply to emergency work, as identified in article blah, blah, blah. If there is or would have been an unreasonable delay in obtaining the permit.
You said page 48?
Page 48, item number J.
2 times, not 1.5.
2 times.
2 times.
I don't know.
There you go.
Pay twice the fee for said permit costs associated with town's investigation.
Which section are you in?
It's.
Page 48,
Page 48.
section
It's-
2,
And it's
Oh,
J.
section 2, I'm in 3.
okay,
48.
on the bottom page.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I was in
It's
section
okay.
3, sorry. Yeah, not knowing, reading.
Okay, however, they got a permit to excavate.
Yeah, but that wasn't the.
That
build.
wasn't the whole, I know, but I'm just saying.
Yeah. All right, would you guys be okay with $7.50 a day? Just for that piece, because that was 2 weeks, it's 14 days times $7.50.
Is that business days or is that,
That's,
That's from when he got a cease and desist order until he brought in all of his documentation, and that cease and desist order was lifted.
It's actually cheaper than what we originally came up with, by $96.
by 96.
Uh-huh. it has to be at least that. And I think that's fair.
Okay, so what was that, 10,560 cents?
So you said 750 a day at 14 days, correct?
Yep.
750 a day for 14 days is $10,500.
Done.
Who's serving this ticket?
Dan the man. He's the building official.
Oh, yeah.
He is the one who's responsible for that.
Yeah.
This is a lot of money for that project.
Okay,
Oh, I know. I hear you coming. This is the chatter you didn't want to talk about.
Or you didn't want to talk about.
No.
I think to police it is the responsible thing to do.
Yes.
okay.
Right.
Can I ask a quick question? So, is he gonna hand carry it to him, or are we gonna send it certified?
Or you can send it
Certified.
both.
I say certified.
Careful deliberation by the planning and zoning, this is what your fine is.
How long do you give the person to pay it?
Good question, thank you. How long are you gonna give him to pay it?
I believe we go back to, you read it today, there was,
I read a lot.
you read it.
5.
See, the land use development code doesn't specifically tell you how long he has. However, I believe that as the planning
He's
and
not gonna
zoning
get a
who's
COO until it's done.
is controlled, we can pull his permit again until it is paid. We failed to do this prior, we should have done it before we gave him his building permit.
I don't see anywhere in, I don't see anywhere where it says a time frame.
Oh, we'll just say we'll give you a week.
Wait a minute. He can appeal it. Oh, yeah.
That's all right, he can appeal, he can do anything
The
you want.
order shall be sent via certified mail, by the way,
Okay.
page 128.
I need a time frame.
You need a
I need a
motion.
time frame.
Uh,
And then a motion, but hang on, one thing at a time. Because you're gonna put the time frame in your motion.
Within 30 days?
No, no, no.
I'm
no,
gonna
no.
say he can't get his C of O, the legit thing to do, because that's a lot of money to come up with this project. So I'm gonna say probably not do a C of O until we get that fine paid. I don't like this. This sucks.
Okay, so,
You're fine.
Devil's-
I'm just
devil's
expecting.
advocate.
But if
Okay.
somebody knows they're breaking the law,
Yeah, I know.
and they think they're gonna get away with it, shame on you.
Well, and I don't think,
so let's just say
Yeah,
his
sorry.
project hits a snag and he gets permitted, he's got permitted for a year. So now we got a year. He can get an extension.
No, he can't.
No, he can't.
No, he
But
can't. Not until we get that paid.
not until you get that paid. Can he make payments?
No.
Oh,
I'm not that person. I'm just saying, here's your fine.
oh, okay. He can go to town council.
Absolutely. And the town
Fabulous.
council can stand, you can stand up in front of town council and say, here's what I did wrong, or here's what I don't admit to, and then they'll say,
That's not a council issue. That's a court.
well, he can appeal it.
That's a court issue. That's
But that's-
municipal court.
but that's
not
his,
council.
but that's his appeal process, right?
That would be a ticket, though. That'd
Yeah.
not be a violation.
Yeah.
I mean, so we're gonna, and I'm assuming you're gonna have me initiate a letter that says, guess what? It's your lucky day, here's your fine.
Yeah, you could say it like that. but I don't think you will.
So,
It's not a town council issue, that's a municipal court issue.
so a ticket has to be written.
Ticket, it's gotta be written and it's gotta be submitted. I would do it both ways, have Dan drop him a copy and have him certified.
But Dan doesn't have the mechanism for a ticket.
He does too, it's in
The
the
code
last,
enforcement officer did.
Oh,
it's in the
Yeah.
last part, it's the building official's responsibility to inform you of your fine. That's what it says in the very last part of.
okay. At page 128, I got it. Okay,
Since we don't have one of those guys, now we got him.
okay.
That's what you-
He can write he should actually technically write the ticket and you should send certified mail.
Is it a ticket or is it a violation? Because he,
It's a ticket with a violation letter.
Actually, it's a ticket with a fine.
Yeah, the ticket is a fine. And then the violation letter confirms in detail.
What you did wrong.
and what was done wrong was he put up walls and put the foundation in the hole. Is that what I'm understanding
He
correctly?
built without a building permit,
Right. He only had the,
excavation permit.
and nobody said that he could pour concrete or anything along those lines, right?
This is where this whole issue of Dan and Rob not coming to these meetings
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
has, but it should be stated, it should be done, and you'll get no CO. You'll get no extension, you'll get nothing until that gets paid.
Yep, I agree with that.
Cause he'll get an extension.
Gonna have to.
That's fine,
I mean, you know what I mean,
Yeah,
or he'll be a violation.
but no C of O.
Permit.
No C of O.
yeah.
Okay,
Sorry.
stand by your email tomorrow.
Okay, next. See you, Mom. Did somebody kill your cat?
I am just putting myself in that position of me getting a $10,000 ticket in the mail and saying I have to pay it right away, or else I can't continue on with my project. I'm just
We
putting
didn't
myself
say
in.
that.
No, I know you didn't.
We didn't say that you
I
couldn't
understand.
continue on with your project.
Right. Yeah.
It just says,
It just says you can't get an extension or C of O, and I mean, yeah, absolutely, he has to pay the fine. It just, I'm just putting myself in that situation,
Well,
and it is a hard pill to swallow.
when everything's,
would
but
you
here's the
put
thing.
yourself
I
there?
know,
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
But when you start getting top dollar in rent and or you're selling property at top
He's
dollar,
not getting
10,
top dollar in rent.
we don't know that.
Wait a
I
minute.
do know that.
What'd you do with me?
He is not getting top dollar in rent for,
Nope, here we go.
yeah.
But we, again, it's,
It just sucks.
well,
Moving
when
on.
people break the law, it does suck. All right, we are now,
Zoning
Okay,
map, oh,
in the
commercial
process
district.
of making people happy, let's talk about commercial district parking requirements. This is gonna be a little bit more intense than I originally thought. So this is the letter.
Oh, this is the one you sent us earlier today,
Did I send that to you earlier?
I believe so.
What did we think about that?
Can I see it?
Sure. Because I think what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to separate all of our businesses out.
Yeah, R2, MRC.
Okay. So here's our business license list
oh my God.
of people that have business licenses. Now, from here, I need to pull out all of the active businesses. And my thought was to start along the highway and move around. So each business is gonna be a little bit different. So, So we've got,
Don't you have people?
Yeah, this should be a project
I had
for one
people.
person.
Bummer.
somebody's out on sick leave. Alpine Dental Care, Alpine Daycare, which is next door, Town of Alpine Town Hall, TOA Old Clinic Building, Fire Hall, Driftwood, North Star Complex, Engel Invokers, Roger Brown Complex, Wyoming Gunfighters, Chevron, Jenkins Paint and Sundries. Want me to keep going?
No, that's businesses down the street.
So my thought was to tackle the highway first and then go.
And again, I think I requested some kind of a time frame on this, because this could happen for the next 10 years.
Right. So what did you come up with?
Well, that's what we need to talk about. You can't, okay, you guys have to stripe it, identify handicap, how many spaces per thousand, or whatever method we're using, but like by
The
when?
method that is used.
By when?
Did I attach that for you? The method that is used.
Well, it's based
is
on-
commercial facilities,
Yeah.
that is in land use development code.
Correct.
And, I started with that because.
But it needs to be,
It's
there
all
needs to be a
commercial
timeframe
corridors.
specified.
I just don't have the special.
So what do you wanna do?
Campbell?
Tell me when you wanna do it.
Well, it depends on when we get it all the notices together.
So
Can
I'm sorry.
Isn't there a program that we could, some type of, dated program that then automatically comes and says, hey, you don't have, your business license is due? And it seems to me that with technology, that there would be some kind of program that we could run all these into, and it just fed you stuff and said, it auto mailed. I get a notice that,
So I think she can go ahead and she can generate a mailing list. Is that what you're
Of all
asking?
businesses
Correct.
that are commercial.
but that the program itself is managing those dates, because it's by the year, right? So if you come in August 1st, the next August 1st, you
No,
should,
doesn't work that way.
all right, how's it work?
Your
When does the
business
business
license
license
program
expire?
starts January 1, goes through December 31st.
Oh,
If you come in partway through,
Does it get prorated?
no.
Same price either way?
So you come in September 30th, you're gonna pay $100, but next year, you get a discount to 75 if you renew your business license.
So,
But you're looking at their overall parking, which hasn't been updated in who knows how long,
right.
look at the Jenkins building,
Oh my gosh, yeah.
The
You would-
post
The
office.
post
The
office.
post
The
office.
post
yeah.
That's
office,
like
okay.
insanity.
So, it's pretty easy to dictate. You need, depending on how many parking spaces you need, if you have 1 to 25, you only need one handicap spot. So that's pretty easy.
So if this is something, so here's how, we are doing a lot of changes. We are adapting, our town is growing, we're trying to move forward with positive growth, right? So, with a letter like this, I think it would be beneficial not to say have it done now. I would say, hey, here's the rules and regulations that we require for our town. We really need to have this done by next year.
Well, that's why I said, let's put a time frame.
Yeah,
That was
exactly.
my
I agree
point.
with you. Yeah,
There's no
absolutely.
way we're gonna get every business
No.
to do it in the next 30 days.
And
And we
if-
need to come up with a time frame that is
Yeah.
realistic, because they need to do their homework. 'Cause
Yeah.
I guarantee they don't have, some of them don't
No.
have a clue.
Yeah,
Well,
absolutely, yeah.
And I don't see you doing any of this unless you really go door to door and do it
Yeah.
face to face.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
yes.
I don't see you mailing it, I don't see you calling anybody. I say you go to the business, knock on the door. Are you the manager? I'm with the town. Let's talk about your parking. And by the way, you don't have your business license paid up.
department.
Well,
Have you
you know, don't you think you could kill two birds with one stone? You ever heard about that?
I've heard about that.
I'm just saying.
We'll talk later.
I think we should do a letter to every
And just,
owner and just say, this will now be enforced.
this is coming down the pike. Yeah,
Here
here's the
is
information.
what's required. Please make sure you review and understand, because
Okay, so is this letter
at some
is
point,
this letter adequate?
you will be inspected, or whatever,
So,
to make sure you are in
I
compliance
hear
with the
what, I
land
hear
use
what you're
development code.
saying. There's some that have been identified that,
Sure.
the food truck, okay?
Oh, yeah,
Food truck, they're on gravel.
yeah,
They don't have, and that's not my problem, right?
yeah.
So you can you can still go out there and paint, you can still go out there and do a handicap.
Yeah.
So you've got the front portion of it, you've got the back portion of it.
That and
That,
placards.
that unfortunately does not fall into the commercial scheme of things, because I don't have something for a food truck. So how many spaces,
Is the
so I
guy
get,
renting those spaces? The guy who owns the property?
yeah, he's
renting those-
renting those spaces
He's
to somebody.
He's renting those spaces. This letter needs to go to him.
Yes,
Yeah, it's gotta go to him.
yeah.
He's the property owner.
He's the property owner.
I think the main component here is the handicapped. I mean, that's the,
Well,
to
that's-
me, the
yeah,
most important
That's
issue
what
here.
started this.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what started it.
you know, I think
Do you wanna
identifying,
break
at least identifying your
Do you wanna
handicap.
break it
should
down
be-
to, please have your handicap spaces marked by October 1st?
Yes, something like that. And then please understand the amount of spaces you need to provide your
And then,
customers based
over
on
the
the land
winter,
use development code. blah, blah, blah,
Analyze,
blah, blah.
analyze your parking lot,
Yep.
analyze, and in springtime, we'd like to see the parking
Some-
spaces
yes.
clearly marked and identified.
I think that's fair. But it's the handicap that makes me nervous,
many
because
of
that's
those
a
letters do you
liability
have
for
to
this
send?
town.
How's a stack?
I mean, some
Okay.
of them might not even be in use anymore. I mean,
Well,
She'll figure that out.
I just wrote them down. These
no,
ones are all.
that's
I
just
used.
that.
That's this mini law, yeah. Oh, no, these are all the business licenses. Sarah made up business licenses, a list for me, but I had to get this list because I had to get this list.
I think every owner should get a letter ASAP that their handicap parking needs to be identified by October 1st.
Okay. I would-
Spaces, depending on if they have, need more than one. Please refer to the land use development code, blah, blah, blah.
I would
I
agree.
can be.
That
on
to
board
me
with
is so critical, because
Yes.
that is, again,
agree.
that's a liability for the
Uh,
business owner and the town.
Yeah,
that. I will be, I'm
I'm
on
on
board
board.
with that. Yeah.
I'm on board.
Okay,
with
so just keep this in mind, the total number of parking spaces in vehicular parking facility, 1 to 25, you only need one. 26 to 50, you need two. Okay, so, I mean, it's not gonna be,
Yeah,
in theory, it's not gonna be that hard.
That's
No.
what I'm saying.
Grocery store already has
Yes,
their handicap
And
parking
they're
As-
marked.
as-
And they're marked.
cornerstone.
and they're marked,
yes,
but then that gets to the question, they're already taken care of.
they're complying. Everyone else needs to.
There's a couple of other people that have been taken care of already, but does everybody get the letter? I want everybody,
Yes.
every
Yeah.
business owner to
Yes,
get the letter.
100%.
I
Okay.
think that it's clearly marked, should be placard or paint on the, paint, placard and paint. Considering, I mean, yes, Melvin's has handicap placard, so
yes.
you know you don't go there. But it should say
Identified.
identified placard
Identified.
or paint. Do the gas stations have that? I mean, or like, do you see it at like at
At the Chevron, I haven't seen it at the Chevron.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
They don't have designated parking
Well, they have
anywhere.
parking at the.
Do they?
At
It's on
the
that
Comic
side.
Con.
Oh, on the side?
On that, this side, yeah. I don't think it's clearly marked, but. Hey, so,
they,
here's my draft letter.
okay,
I'll revise it a tad to be specific with handicap. Then let them know that we are working on making sure they have the appropriate, what did I say? Site plan, submit a parking site plan. Oh, I said place, site. And we will be working on that over the winter and
Yes.
hoping to get those clearly marked and identified by spring.
spring. I like that a lot. I think it's important.
You can't piggyback and get another $100 on it. Well, no, now it's only 25, because they've had a business license. Just trying to, you know, be
Usually,
efficient.
it's usually most, all the businesses do have it, it's those subcontractors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
how are you managing that?
I'd love to stay until 11, but not.
Okay.
Okay,
Zoning map.
zoning map.
Here's our zoning map. I'll get back to you on that. I'll report, we'll report on, okay, that's,
It's a lot of colors.
Okay, so this was Christine and I working on trying to fill in what's happened and what is happening. And then this was Suzie Q's interpretation of what should happen. This is just, everyone's got their own opinion.
What's the orange?
R1. I was
R1.
trying to duplicate
Oh, I
this.
see,
You
okay.
don't have
I'm
the
with
color
you.
markers.
No, yeah, you're good, you're good.
So
I only-
the last proposal I saw for Alpine Lakes was, this is already commercial, and it was supposed to be MRC with R2, R1, and now that's changed. It's gonna be all MRC with a strip of R1s. So that's gonna be an issue. But anyway, having said that, we're trying to identify things, because we don't have an updated map.
well, and what I want to do is I want to get the incorporated, you know, the annex properties in.
I'll take it.
And so I want to get this map done.
Yeah.
Because this map needs to accompany all of these updates.
Yeah.
So the future for the
Didn't
master
Kevin say he was
plan.
gonna get it to us?
Yeah, I told him I'd try to get that to him.
Perfect.
He wants
So-
us to have a $300 program.
Yeah, well, that's a
Yeah,
different
he-
computer
he-
thing.
Yeah.
But when Christine and I were talking, because you have to look at the overall, again, master plan, which we don't really know what it is yet, but I'm sitting here saying, you have to look at potential tax revenue, sales tax revenue for this town. This town has to make money, and that's just business. So I personally think having a downtown commercial district or Main Street district, having an Alpine Gateway district, because this should all be commercial, where the Brolams is, it's the KJ's, I mean, this is gonna be something, we don't know what yet, that's all we know right now. And then I propose rezoning all this into Riverfront Commercial District. And this is where this town's gonna make its money in sales tax.
Okay, so,
And this should be the commercial industrial corridor, up this way. That's what, and this should be rezoned, R1, R2. I think MRC here is a disaster. As you know, by the True Grit presentation.
what do you have here, commercial?
Or industrial?
Light industrial, that's all homes.
Yeah, what did we say that was? Why did we write that in there?
What did we write?
All of
Commercial or
these-
industrial?
Light industrial?
It just says or
It says
industrial.
com or industrial. What was?
Commercial.
Commercial.
Commercial or industrial?
But right now, it's residential.
Just-
Yes, it is.
So why are we changing it to commercial or industrial?
Wait, is it,
I mean, I'm just saying, what's there now are houses.
Houses,
right.
And now,
acreage.
oh yeah, it's just acreage, because the houses are back over here.
Right, so what we're
There's
saying
one
is
hu-
anything
yeah.
on this corridor should be commercial.
Okay?
Because you've got 10 apartment buildings here, you've already got residential here, you've got MRC here, MRC here. MRC should not be here.
And you have MRC here.
Is that MRC too?
That's
See, I
MR
didn't know them
because
all.
that's storage.
Got it.
And
So,
then this is all residential.
right. I'm not, I mean, I wasn't really focused on what's back in here as much.
Uh-huh.
I was just trying to start the process of conversation, that's all. This is just logic that I wanted to
makes sense.
start with.
Makes sense, so.
But you have to look, and again, this, I don't know where we're at with the master plan. I'm trying to get things going because nothing's going, and I'm just pushing. But I think this should be rezoned. I think this should be rezoned. I think this should be rezoned.
Yeah,
But
this
this
should,
isn't a
this
part
should
of the,
really, this should really be residential.
But this is not-
Absolutely, 1,000%.
but this isn't a part of the town, right? This is County Road 100, right?
Yes,
Okay, yeah, this isn't a part of our town, though,
Yes, it is.
yes, it
Now
is.
it is.
That was annexed.
Whoops,
This
sorry.
one was annexed,
This
and I
one-
think that one
this
was too.
This one right here, nope, just this one right here.
Oh, just the true grid?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was annexed, but I think this should all be rezoned. That should be residential. MRC back there is a disaster. This is prime real estate. Prime. Prime.
I mean, if you were gonna do
I'm,
it,
I'm not arguing with you, I'm looking at the fact that you're gonna mandate a rezone.
Well, but this
The
is,
town did that once before.
okay, but what
It
I'm,
wasn't pretty.
but here's what I'm saying. This is, the master plan
The
has
master
to
plan.
happen.
Yes,
before
And
we can make
I'm
this all.
just throwing ideas into
Sure.
the master plan conversation.
Can I-
This is not Sue Colbus owning Alpine.
no, no,
No,
no, thank you,
no, no.
thank you.
it's awesome.
I did not,
When the
I-
town-
nobody caught
Starting the
that. You're good.
conversation.
When the town mandated a rezone, who got mad? The
Yeah,
owner?
Yes, the owner of the property.
Okay.
this
Well,
property's for
that,
sale
and that's
right
up
now.
for sale, so.
So, yeah,
But my point is that we have an opportunity now to fix some things, and this, most of this is owned by the town. This is prime real estate. This is where, not this side, but this side of the street. This is where you want your galleries, your coffee shops, your restaurants, your rooftop bars. You want all, and obviously heavy landscaping back in here. This is where this town's gonna make its money. A little bit here and a lot here. That's all sales tax. Not in here.
No, I mean, I get it.
Not in here.
Well, and this is, that's state. This is
Yeah, oh,
state.
that's the port,
That's
yeah.
the port.
Oh, yeah. See, I wasn't done identifying, because I was just focusing
We-
on what I knew.
we do a little bit at a time.
Yeah. And this has changed already since I initially put it in. It's already now, they're coming back to us saying, all this is MRC with the strip of R1s right here, which has obliterated this land value, in my opinion, but that's not my call.
This section has been annexed into the town, hasn't it?
No, huh?
No.
Okay.
And that's
No,
all,
but-
those are all
But if-
Residential.
residential.
if 100 goes,
So
Well,
this
if
was-
100 goes, I could foresee,
you could see
if
the whole
anybody in
thing.
that Peters subdivision has an empty lot, if they have capability of hooking onto water and sewer,
they're gonna do
they're
it.
gonna jump right on it.
So won't this. So won't all that old stuff.
Yeah, and those people want.
They
because
want it.
they are like,
Yeah.
yeah.
So this just starts the conversation. You know, I'm just, again, this, you gotta work with who's doing, the engineers that are working on the master plan. I mean, what is the master plan? I'm trying to jumpstart some conversations, that's all. Like, I don't even know what's gonna happen here. Like, what's all,
No, we still don't
this
know for
is MRC. We don't know what this is, but it's gonna be something someday. It is. This is, again, a prime.
That needs to be,
Prime.
that needs to
Mixed
be
use.
commercial.
1,000% agree. But it's up to these guys, right?
Well, with the new annexation ordinance, I think the Planning and Zoning Commission has a say now of if they annex.
Well, and again, I think, okay, you're driving into town, tourism is gonna be, let's face it, our number one source of revenue. That's why identifying commercial districts is key. I think that needs to happen before you even do anything else. on top of securing prime real estate for its intended purposes to, quite frankly, bring revenue to this town and create community. We have nowhere to go and hang out and eat. I mean, Melvin's, but that's it.
I mean, good work. I mean, it's a start.
I just started a conversation, that's all. But I think this should be the Riverview front, a riverfront commercial district. You come down the street and all this is galleries, shops, restaurants, and obviously we hide the sewer plant, take half of that, and
What
this
do we
is all.
landscape that? Can we landscape that?
Not within the setbacks.
I mean, these
Landscaping,
neighbors are gonna get pissed,
setbacks
so
can be
you can put a
landscaped.
wall of trees up. I mean, that's an easy fix. You could put a wall of trees around the sewer. But what an I mean, can you imagine sitting on a rooftop bar looking at that view? I mean, that's prime, that to me, right here and right here is prime real estate.
Well, the neighbor was alone.
All right, so I'm just starting conversation, that's all. that
Okay.
was. That's all it
Well,
was.
I need to work on the zoning map because I need
You're
to
good, you're good.
I need to update the zoning map.
Yeah,
So
we're
it's
trying
like-
to figure out
It's like a
what's what.
twofold type of thing.
All right,
Okay.
Point, public plan documents for public review.
Oh, we
talked
already
about that
talked.
we
already.
did that, we hit.
Public comments and or concerns.
Public comments?
Public comments?
Okay, they don't want to play.
We covered it.
P and Z meeting minutes for July 9th.
I make a motion to accept the July 9th, P and Z meeting at 7 PM.
I have a motion on the table to accept the meetings. Do I have a second?
I will second that motion.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Who's going to the next meeting?
You're gonna have a meeting before that.
We are having our own meeting.
Oh, never mind then. We'll see
Hey.
y'all then.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for playing.
Bye. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
What?
Nothing.
Town council?
A
No,
workshop.
it's a free week.
It's a free week.
Oh,
It's a free.
I'll I need a motion for number 6.
Number 6. Oh,
Make a
I'll
motion to adjourn the meeting.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
second that.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, meeting adjourned
Yeah,
at
let's go back.
9:38.
Sorry it took so long.
I was all organized before I got here, and now my